Okay, you want a great year-end deal on the versatile Mercury Villager? Well, how's $2,000 cash back or financing as low as 0.9%? Built right here in Ohio, Villager offers more power, more room, and an interior that changes faster than the weather around here. Right now, get $2,000 cash back or 0.9% financing on the minivan that drives like a car. $19.99 Mercury Villager. You only save like this once a year. See your Mercury dealer now.
Get out to the big car wash. It's all good. It's all free. At the car wash.
Hi, welcome to the beach.
Car wash, yeah.
When you feel the beat, everything old is new again. Music that makes you feel good.
Are you ready for a brand new beat?
The new 92.3 The Beat, Cleveland's Jammin' Oldies. It's a nice ride.
Life is much more challenging when you're deaf. It's hard to ask questions when signing is your way of communicating. I'm lucky to at least have partial hearing and the ability to sign. And the best thing about being able to sign is being able to make someone's day a little bit easier.
The flower arrangements have been ordered.
You know how many single honeys feel when...
But the sleeping arrangements are still being worked out.
Did you sleep with her?
Oh!
Good girls never tell.
The best men rated R.
Starts Friday.
There are no boundaries in a Ford SUV from your local Ford store. The most complete line of sport utilities on the planet. Ford Excursion, with up to 10,000 pounds of pulling power. Ford Expedition, with 9 passenger seating. And Ford Explorer, the #1 selling compact sport utility, equipped with control track 4-wheel drive and a CD player. These one for just $359 a month for 24 months. For the right equipment for any adventure, see your local Ford store, your Ford outfitter.
There's this place in the neighborhood where they have these outrageous, you pick 2 platters, and basically you pick 2 out of 3 entrees. It's 2 on 1 plate. You get the Cajun steak with all those sizzling spices, or a pile of succulent roasted garlic shrimp, or barbecue chicken with that sauce that sticks to your lips and your mind like some really interesting dream. It was too good to end, but it will, just like the You Pick 2 platters. 2 entrees, 1 plate, only at Applebee's.
When we re-engineered the all-new 2000 LeSabre, we gave it more standard safety features for you and your family than any other car in its class. And 1 more feature just for you. Smart Lease Plus. Pay around $9,987 at lease signing and make no monthly payments during the lease. Residency restrictions apply. Call for important lease details. 1 payment for your peace of mind. The all-new 2000 LeSabre. Drive one at your Buick dealer now.
Hi, everyone. I'm Donna Terrell.
And I'm Don Hammond. Coming up at 5 a.m. on your first local news of the day, he walks from Washington to Cleveland tomorrow, a big day for Sam Reese-Shepherd.
Plus, migraine relief is out there. How to get it without all the pain.
And a cool down ahead. I'll be here with your Channel 3 weather forecast. Sky Chief and Marie have team traffic to get your week started.
We'll get you rolling. We'll see you bright and early at 5 a.m. We hope you'll join us.
See what's shaking on Channel 3 News today.
Oh, space. I'm astounded by its vastness.
Seems like it goes on forever. The Accord from Honda. Don't be surprised if its spacious interior leaves you awestruck.
Boundless.
Expensive.
Could you pass me the napkins?
Hold on. They're way back here.
Thanks.
The Accord for the year 2000. Now lease a new Accord LX for $229 a month for 36 months.
Hey, Homer. Homer, I come here, about once a month. But this one, he's here once a week.
Hey, Glenda, look at here. You never go directly to what you want. You've got to roam around. Just what I've been looking for. Every now and then you find things you just are total surprise. Holy smokes. But every time we come in the door, she'll see something.
Look, insulated.
In fact, this morning,
Oh, my goodness.
she immediately found something she couldn't live without.
I have a good eye.
Well, she does have a good eye. She got me.
Another empty box of potato air crisps.
One of these, and then I'll mingle. Tastes like a potato chip, only crispier. Wait a minute. I should be talking to other people, not myself. But these are so crispy. It's the little air pockets. I'll just have one more. I don't need to circulate. If anybody wants to talk to me, they'll find me. I'm the blonde in the short black dress, holding an empty box of potato air crisps.
Potato air crisps with a crispier crunch than potato chips. You'll be back.
You're watching Ally McBeal. And don't forget, fall's funkiest new comedy, That 70s Show, premieres Sunday on Fox.
It's the big story from Cleveland to Capitol Hill. The president testifies before a grand jury. Tonight, Fox 8 will take you live to Washington for the very latest, an hour ahead of everybody else. See the most in-depth coverage in Cleveland first on Fox at 10.
Chesco and Aldi pasta sauces have authentic Italian taste because they're made by Italians. Us! And that's why it's got the taste.
It's got the taste.
It's got the taste. And that's the straight scoop.
Clever.
Need to correct something? The Duck brand Correct It roller covers it fast, so you can fix it immediately. Just roll and write. Need it corrected? Get the Duck to do it.
Quack. Here, Dad.
Hey, Mom wants me to get a pony?
It's on the list.
Hold, please. One moment, please.
Got a minute?
I've got a call.
Haven't you heard? Toyota's national clearance event is on now. And is it ever worth your time to check out the $169 a month Corolla lease special? $169 for the most trusted car in the world. Or get special clearance financing as low as 2.4% APR, 2.4 or $169 a month. So put everything on hold and get to the Toyota National Clearance Event. Get to your Toyota dealer today. This national clearance event ends September 7th.
So you get the babysitter. Come on. Push down really hard.
Oh, let me see it, please. Oh, he's beautiful. He's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Call 1-800-23-SUMA for a free videotape on maternity and birthing from the hospital that offers the highest level of maternity care in the Akron area.
Suma, your partner in good health.
If something is made by Italians, then it's authentic Italian, right? Like Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa and Francesco and Aldi's pasta sauces. They're authentic Italian because they're made by Italians. Us! And that's the straight scoop.
I can't stop this feeling. What was that for?
Wanted to see what it was like.
What was it like?
You were there?
Get hooked on the feeling. That 70s Show premieres Sunday at 8:30, 7:30 Central on Fox.
The president is just minutes away from addressing the nation.
Next, the president's speech live, then reaction from Cleveland to Capitol Hill, an hour ahead of everybody else.
You're watching Fox, and the news is next.
It's the way we welcome the sun with 35 sunblock. The way the best water now mostly comes in bottles. It's the way we make time for exercise and like to enjoy reading. Today, more and more people are finding reasons to live healthier. That's why Subway offers 7 subs, each under 6 grams of fat. Because when you're through surfing, you might want to put on a bathing suit. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should be.
How do you do? I'm Kathleen. Hello, I'm Kathy. I'm also very nervous.
Any pain reliever can work on a tension headache.
Boy, do I have a headache.
But Tylenol works without stomach irritation, and it doesn't have caffeine. Tylenol is simply the most trusted combination of strength and safety in pain relief today.
Wish me luck.
Tylenol. Take comfort in our strength.
Picture this, man. You're walking alone by yourself. It's dark out, and you trip. You fall off the curb, man. You lose your balance, and you go down hard on the knee. But get this, man. The 501 jeans are hard. Man, they're so hard that concrete doesn't even touch them. But get this. The jeans scuff your skin. Man, the jeans are so hard, they scuff you. Levi's hard jeans.
Probably harder than necessary.
Dateline.
Welcome, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well and having a fantastic St. Patty's Day. Welcome back to those of you who were here just a little while ago when I was live before on a very, very unrelated subject to what we're talking about now. We will be I don't even remember her name. We'll be discussing psychic Reverend Donna Seraphina. She is a tragedy pimp who was acknowledged by Kathleen Hale, who is the author of the Vanity Fair article that we're all so much big fans of. She's the other creator that was called out, and so we're gonna go over now. Here's the thing about that. I don't really know. I was not familiar with her until she mentioned her. But what do we do here, folks, is we call out tragedy pimps. And so we are going to we're gonna go over some of her content and see exactly how bad of a tragedy pimp this person is. And apparently she's a psychic. And the last one to hit the like ends up having her predict your entire future. So now, before I get started on old Reverend Donna, psychic Reverend Donna, before I get started on her, so, man, you know, I love that feeling sometimes where I just piss people off, people who deserve to be pissed off, because what ends up happening, and as soon as I end my live on a very touchy subject to a lot of us here in the community, those who've been following that case and knew what I was talking about. Yeah, so the ghost of my my counterpart during that case decided to go live on her pathetic little alt channel, and I mean, I could discuss the updates. I mean, I guess I mean, I could. I don't really want to, though. I'm not really interested, but I have them. The updates on. Well, you know what? I'll do it real quick. Let me just keep you guys updated on canceled Karen's current $10 million lawsuit. Let me find this here. Wait, was it emailed to me or was... Yeah, I think it was emailed. So get out of that. And okay. And I'm not going to show the documents. I just have them here. So canceled Karen tells the court. Now, Ray Andriacchio being the plaintiff here, canceled Karen after basically her entire defense. She's being sued for $10 million by Ray Andriacchio for defamation. Big shocker. Spreading misinformation. Big shocker. She's being sued, and basically her entire defense is I'm poor and I can't make it to Mississippi where this is happening, and I want to be able to attend court through the phone or via Skype or whatever the fuck. And the court's like, nope, you got to come here. And so every time she keeps like playing like in her own version of Keep Away, which is really, really funny. I'm not an attorney, but there's funny stuff here. So she writes the court, hello, there is a settlement conference scheduled for August 30th, 22 at 9:30 a.m. I am unclear on how to attend such a conference. I am not in Mississippi, and I'm not able to be. I am also presently awaiting a response to my request for summary judgment, which was filed, blah, blah, blah. Realistically speaking, I have nothing to offer the plaintiff's way of financial settlement, which I have already communicated to the plaintiff's counsel. So basically what she's saying here is, hey, listen, I don't have any money. I don't know how many people I got to tell. I don't have any money. And so because I ain't got no money, y'all can't sue me, which is not how it works. It's just simply not how it works. So I find that really, really, really funny. As this goes on, as this progresses, I become more and more entertained. I become more and more amused. So, and that's from last year. It goes on to say that the court responded via email. The court responded via email and advised defendant that her in-person attendance at the settlement conference scheduled for August 30th, 2022 was mandatory pursuant to the local rules and the governing case management order. Defendant replied, this is absolutely impossible, canceled Karen says. I will not be able to physically attend this conference as Jackson is over 1,000 miles away from me, and I am unable to afford to travel there and stay there. In addition, I have minor, all caps, children who start school August 29th and need transportation to school. Is there no way to allow me to attend the conference virtually or via Zoom? And they basically said no. And Judge Isaac says that this email is being sent to canceled Karen as well. Per your order, we were to confer with each other and then report back to you with our valuable dates for an in-person settlement conference. Canceled Karen tells me that she can't agree to a date and that she cannot come to Mississippi, quote unquote. She cites her responsibilities as a mother with children in school, her financial situation, and other concerns. Since she claims that she is unable to come to Mississippi, I have asked canceled Karen if she intends to come to the pre-trial hearing in November or the trial in December. She has yet to respond to my query, meaning she ignored it. blah, 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 blah. She says, she responds respectfully, as I said prior, I am unable to attend the settlement conference for financial reasons. It is too far to travel, and I have minor children obligations, and it is simply not feasible for me to be there in person. Additionally, I filed several motions on July 1st, 2022, see attached, and I respectfully request these be ruled on. I also respectfully request a motion to continue this matter. Please understand, I have no intention of ignoring the court's request. I am simply trying to work within the parameters available to me as a pro se out-of-state defendant. I also respectfully ask again to attend the conference telephonically and pray for relief in this matter as appropriate. The court basically says no. And it does so in a very long and detailed way. The conclusion, it is therefore ordered that sanctions in the amount of $895.67 be imposed upon the defendant. It is further ordered that canceled Karen remit this sum to the clerk of court or on or before May 1st, 2023. Defendant is advised that failure to comply with the court's orders herein will likely result in the imposition of further sanction. So basically, there's the threat that every single time that canceled Karen decides not to show up to court, they slap her with a fine. And the last one was pretty hefty, significantly more than $800 and some odd dollars. Now, what's really funny to me is that canceled Karen can absolutely, I mean, it's feasible that she can come up with the money to travel to Mississippi, okay, from where she is. And it's perfectly feasible that she can do this within, as far as the money goes, because it's really ironic that if the reason why, and I don't think this is an accident, but if the reason why she can't travel is because of money, I find it funny that give or take the same amount that it would cost to get there is what she's being fined for every time she doesn't go. So I think that that's fucking hilarious. So anyway, but you know, now she's, you know, on her pathetic little, you know, alt channel because she got booted off of YouTube for being a shitbag. Now she's, you know, spewing her same bullshit Sophie nonsense. And this same little pathetic group of people are logged onto this going, the glare swill is deplorable. Which I think is just fucking fantastic. But I digress. So, no, you're not, Cherry. Shut up. I'll fucking put you on timeout. So we've got, let's see here. Now, I don't even know. I know, I love it. I love that the drunkenest motherfucker on YouTube takes jabs at me drinking when the truth is I haven't even drank, and it's fucking St. Patty's Day and I'm not drinking. Like, so this person here, this psychic Donna, Seraphina, I don't know any of her content. You know, I like to do reactions here, folks. So we're just going to pick one out of a hat. I noticed there was one titled Summer Wells. I'm sure there's more than one. And I'm going to click on that just to get her perspective here on this case. Let's see. Where is that shit? Here we go. This was a year ago. So I'm just curious. We're just picking shit out of a hat here.
Part of my life.
And then she's got this Lauren Sweetie Pie, who I don't know anything about. On her, I think I've been in her chat once or twice. But I didn't stick around long enough to know what the fuck she was talking about because she was boring. But let's take a listen and see what we got going on here, because I don't know what's going on here. All I know is that she was called out in this Vanity Fair thing, and she claims to be a psychic. I'm sure a lot of you are more familiar than I am. And for the record, folks, I just this thing is just now hitting me. Just a disclaimer. I took a Mike Tyson gummy. These things are great. If you follow me on Instagram, then you already know. But I've got these Mike Tyson strain gummies. And they come in the shape of an ear with the edge of the ear bitten off, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, this should be a fun stream, hopefully. I don't know what we're getting into.
That I love and I enjoy in most cases, or most readings are about love and memories and connecting with loved ones on the other side. So they're not all crime, although Lauren. So here I wrote, a woman named Lauren, who has the YouTube channel Sweetie Pilo, talked me into doing a reading for this missing child. So if the readings help, then you're to thank for that.
Thanks.
And what the shit is going on here? Like, is this like a before after pic? What's going on here? T Brittany, thank you so much. Yes, I'm throwing money at you. No, I won't regret it tomorrow. Fuck the crazy people that do not belong in our club. My psychic abilities say Mike T gummies rock. Yes, thank you so much. You just bought me another pouch of them. I appreciate it.
There was something else. The procedure, because
okay, what the fuck's going on here? What? There seems to be like a weird before after thing going on here. Before Mike Tyson gummies, after Mike Tyson gummies.
There was no relatives to do a reading with, so the procedure I used to do this was to take a photo, look at the little girl, then go sit in my room, kind of in the dark, meditate and pray, and ask to be shown. So that was the first reading, was the 12-minute reading. That I
did. You store walnuts in your cheeks when you did that as well?
And that reading, I think, is packed full of clues. Even absolutely. More. The 45-minute kind of goes into like all these relationships and things like that. But that 12-minute reading has quite a few clues. So there's a lot of cases out there. Every day there's just multiple requests to do missing persons cases, and I can only do so many. Part of it is the mental stress, and part of it is just time and things like that.
Wow. Yeah, I could see that that's really time consuming. I imagine it's really time consuming and really like, straining to be like, I'm completely full of shit and I'm catering to everybody who logs on to me who's already got their minds made up on a case with almost no information. Yeah, I mean, she's breaking down. I could just see it.
Yeah. So let's see.
Oh, Donna, can I say something real quick?
Please.
Shining Bearable, she did a super chat. Thank you so much. Perpetual gratitude for the way you put your gifts to work. Blessings to you both, my favorite team ever.
9, I just admit it. I'm like
all right,
past the age where we grew up.
Let me just get this out of the way real quick. I don't know how I feel about psychic shit. I'm skeptical about it, to say the least. as far as psychics go, people who claim to be mediums and speak to the dead. And, I got my buddy Mexi. He does this in his own way, much different than what I'm seeing here. And I support Mexi because I know that at least he believes in what he's doing, whether or not I believe in what he's doing necessarily. I believe in where his heart is when it comes to these things. But do I believe the same things that he does? I'm not there yet. But bless his heart. I love him and he's a good man. This, however, seems like grifting right off the bat. Seems like grifting. Seems like this person is sitting here and saying, "Oh, I have to touch with the energy," and it's so exhausting. Oh, people like this always kill me.
Grew up learning this stuff.
I mean, it stumps me too, Donna. I mean, it doesn't come natural at all.
I know. I was okay right up until I couldn't figure it out.
That's because you're full of shit.
Yeah. Anxiety attack. So.
Right.
So the first page, I'm just telling them my background. I also have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I did work as a social worker at juvenile parole, as well as I volunteered as a victim advocate for 4 years after my brother was
fucking
murdered.
Great. That's refreshing.
Domestic violence certified. My mother had a domestic violence treatment center, so I worked part-time there.
So as a psychic, so she has all of these credentials, right? Which I don't know are true or not. I'm not going to call her a liar when it comes to that. But she has all of these credentials, apparently. And but she chooses to go the psychic route. Instead of just giving her professional opinion on certain subjects, she goes the psychic route, which I find really, really funny here, especially if we're talking about Summer Wells.
Barely, because I really couldn't stand it. But the bottom line is I do have a background in criminal justice, and I think that combined with my mediumship abilities and my training does help me pick up on things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, so on this letter, when it gets to the second page, what I put was for them, reading number 1, bottom line. And that's because, if you send a letter to the cops, if you're like a psychic, and you send them all this namby-pamby, I see this and I see that, yes. A lot of them are just going to
disregard.
Grandmaster Sid Sofo says, I had a psychic girlfriend once and she was unbelievable. Really had a spiritual gift. Are you sure, dude? I love Grandmaster Sid Sofos. Are you sure that you weren't just fucking hammered most of the time and she was just smarter than you and managed to fucking fuck with you, call you out on your bullshit and say it was because she was psychic? Are you sure that wasn't the case, dude? Team Brittany, thank you again. I have a feeling that whatever happens, yay, I'm psychic, and yay, BD and bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Brian Koberger does too. Impressive, bitch. Oh my God.
Yeah, I identify with that. So right. I put bottom line, and then I'm just going to say blank. Blank showed Summer, blank accepted payment for Summer, blank sold Summer to child traffickers, Summer murder,
what?
Possible clues. And that's another
the blank,
what are they called? Disclaimer.
The blanks make it believable. I love it. Yeah, and she has a bachelor's in criminal justice, but is now saying what's that word? Disclaimer. Okay. This is killing me, dude. So she puts blanks in this outrageous fucking statement. Hold on. I got to hear that one more fucking time.
Blank showed they're just going to
disregard.
Yeah. Identify with that. So right. I put bottom line, and then I'm just going to say blank. Blank showed Summer, blank accepted payment for Summer, blank sold Summer to child traffickers. Summer murdered. Possible clues. You know, and that's another what are they called?
Wow.
Disclaimer. Psychic mediums are not right all the time, and you could be getting stuff that's incorrect. And you can never use that in a warrant. You can't, you know, that even if the police did listen.
Okay, but you're still putting that shit out there. And I love that she's careful and says, disclaimer, half of what I say may be absolute bullshit, but you know, not everybody's right. But I get to hide behind being psychic. I get to use being psychic as me putting out this misinformation. Awesome.
Did listen to me, they would need to go.
Lisa Maxwell, thank you so much. Hope God has a sense of humor and messes with her at the pearly gates. Yeah, right. I'm sorry. Could you step to the side? Wait, hold on. Donna, you didn't see this coming? Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Corroborating physical evidence to bring.
Yes, thank you so much, Lisa Maxwell. Appreciate that.
To a judge. Okay. And so even then, if I say something about somebody, that's not a reason to go attack them, because this is my vision. It would be like if someone woke up and said, "Oh, I had a dream," you know.
Like, I'll give her
legally.
that. I'll give her that. At least she's saying, you know, just because I say something isn't a reason to go attack them. But at the same time, I also feel like I should be pointing out, how about you just say, don't fucking attack people. Like, you shouldn't be attacking people. There's no reason to be attacking anyone. So, yeah.
That's the thing to know, a disclaimer. So anyways, I tell them.
That's the thing
I
to know.
Trip to a place we have now determined to be Gatlinburg. The purpose of that trip was for the mother to show the daughter to a prospective buyer or middleman that might put Summer in a catalog for trafficking children. I saw
the fact that she has the audacity with such little evidence to even say that shit out loud. Okay, just because you fucking put a disclaimer in front of it does not make it okay to sit here and say to people who are crazy enough to believe in your fucking visions that Candace took Summer to fucking Gatlinburg and put her on display for potential buyers to traffic her. Just saying that shit out loud in the manner in which you're doing so is incredibly irresponsible. It's incredibly fucked up. Yeah, you just made my list.
So another scene by a carousel where the man handed Blank a small brown bag of what I knew to be cash.
Donna, can I interrupt real quick?
Please.
I think we need to warn them. This is going to get very graphic because some people might not be ready for this, but it's.
They might not know.
And what a piece of shit this lady is too. You know what I mean? Like the lady on the fucking right, what a piece of shit she is, because she even knows prior. She's not put on the spot. She's talking to this idiot behind the scenes and she's going, oh my God, you need to go live and tell all these gruesome fucking details about a little girl who's missing that everybody is concerned about without any fucking evidence at all. But you need to go live about it and put me on your panel too, and we can discuss it. Now, hold on a second, guys. Another disclaimer. What you're about to hear is imaginary fucking graphic detail about a missing child. Okay.
Look, just a warning. Just a warning. This is very graphic. What she does is not for entertainment purposes. This is like This
Okay.
is pretty.
All right. Right there. Now, if she doesn't correct her right there, okay? If she doesn't correct her right there, then she is absolutely liable, because she just said, the idiot next to her just said, this is not for entertainment purposes. She didn't disclaim and say this is for entertainment purposes, because even 976 psychics in the 90s would say on the bottom of the screen, for entertainment purposes only. Anybody claiming to be a psychic will always say for entertainment purposes only. And so this one just says what you're about to hear is so graphic, and it's not for entertainment purposes only. Just so you know, it's not for entertainment purposes. Let's see. Does the psychic correct her?
Pretty real deal. So please, if you're not able to, I guess.
Yeah, and this is the final one to the police, so I have to address it. I mean, the things I've seen are more graphic than I could even want to say here.
Okay, so instead of correcting her, she verifies and backs it up, saying, this is what I submitted to the police. Along with all of the other useless tips that muddied the water, where the TBI publicly stated that it was shit like that fucked up their investigation and why they have no leads. Specifically, they said shit like this.
Right. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
And I was looking at the chat, and then I was like, thank you, Cindy. I don't know what I was going to say. Anyways, well, bottom line.
I'm sorry, I messed you up.
Oh, you didn't mess me up. No, you're fine. You didn't mess me up, because really reading is kind of boring.
Right.
Okay, so I saw a lot of things, right? And what I did with the Idaho case that worked was I made a group on Facebook, and it was called Psychics and Sleuths. So I did the same for this case. And there were a few people in there really into researching the clues from my readings. And right away, they brought me back photos of Gatlinburg, because I had seen all these interesting things.
Now, off the subject real quick, before I tear this shit apart, just a heads up, guys. I've got something cooking. Hopefully I don't burn it and I can still serve it, but I got something cooking for a live stream coming up soon that I think you guys will really appreciate. But it's simmering right now. Gray Hughes investigates in the house. This lady is one of the worsts, my man says. Yeah, this is mostly reaction. I don't know. I don't know. So this is mostly reaction, but I'm going to talk about her. We're going to go over a lot of her content. I got time. I got a full pot of coffee. I'm not going anywhere. So we're hanging out, guys.
Because I saw an aquarium where you walk through and there's plexiglass over the top. I mean, I say they brought me back photos of Gatlinburg, because I had seen all these interesting things. I saw an aquarium where you walk through and there's plexiglass over the top. I mean, the 12-minute reading is on Sweetie Pilo's channel. And if you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. What else was there? There was a lot. I saw a candy store that had candy cane, but it was right after saying grandma. I see grandma enter the picture or something. So I think, and I've been told that that's her nickname. So
now we're implicating grandma, right? This is awesome.
That might be a reference to her. I was seeing a literal candy store, and then they even found one that looked like it, where the two pools were wrapped in candy. So as a medium, I know that I saw the candy store. I'm not 100% sure if it was a reference to grandma or a reference to the candy store, but so you always keep both things in mind. I think it was more likely to be a reference to the grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
How would it be more likely to be a reference to the grandmother? You saw a candy store. There's a candy store there.
So it turns out that this gum chain is at the Ripley's Museum in Gatlinburg. Well, they also have an aquarium where you walk under the plexiglass, just like I was describing. There was a few other things, and early on, I think someone did kind of like a secondary identification of a person who worked there that was related to someone we were looking at, but I can't even remember who anymore. Okay, so, and definitely, and so Candace put Gatlinburg on her TikTok video.
Oh my
right?
God.
So she has a whole TikTok video.
Let me tell you something, dude. Okay. The number one attraction in Tennessee. Okay. The number one attraction in Tennessee for families is Gatlinburg. It's Seviersville. It's Gatlinburg. It's, yeah. I mean, anybody who, it is almost surprising if Candace didn't have video of her taking her children to Gatlinburg if she lives in Tennessee. I mean, it's insane to me that she's sitting here acting like, oh my God, it can't be a coincidence that Candace had footage on TikTok of Gatlinburg. Of course, she lives in fucking Tennessee. She's not far from it at all. Rogersville is not that. It's maybe a 30-minute drive, I want to say. I could be wrong, but I mean, anybody who lives in Tennessee and has kids is going to take their kids to Gatlinburg at some point. It's where Dollywood is. Pigeon Forge. Yeah, exactly. Like Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg are like right there. Like right there.
Of this strip, and Summer's hair is shaved in that TikTok video, so we know it's within a month, the month that she disappeared. I texted Don Wells. I've been texting him back and forth, and when people send me stuff, I've been kind of asking his opinion on it.
Yeah, you and literally every other motherfucker on YouTube is texting with Don Wells, just so you know.
So we know we went. So, what he told me was that the weekend before Summer went missing, right before Summer went missing, Candace took the children and she went garage selling around Kingsport and took them fishing and stuff. So she was in Kingsport.
Oh, and I saw somebody got upset. I'm sorry, I interrupted Donna about the.
Again, Kingsport is right there. If she's gonna go garage sale shop, that sounds like a mom thing to do. So let me get this straight, y'all. Like, you guys who take your kids on the weekends to go garage sale shopping, I guess you're also trafficking your children. I guess you're also putting your children on display. Real suspicious behavior, lady.
The trigger warning thing. They really want you to carry on with that letter. And I'm so sorry I interrupted you. I just was worried that some people might not be totally aware of how.
Is there anything more tragedy pimp than what's going on right here from this Lauren asshole? Is there anything more tragedy pimp than her pushing the morbid, disgusting details in a fictional letter in regards to what fictionally happened to a child in a missing persons case?
Real deal. This actually.
Yeah, she wanted to give you a warning.
Yes. People reminded me, oh, trigger warning. And I'm like, oh, wait, Donna, hold on. We got to say this. So I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no, that's okay. And apparently that same day, she also took the kids a few miles over by, when I was saying in that first reading, everything that's up is upside down and all this kind of stuff. That's Wonderworks. And so for me, what that does is it would give a date where if too much time hadn't gone by, the LA should be looking at all their surveillance to see a man that didn't interact with them really, but stayed about 20 feet away or so and was kind of following them around. It felt to me like this was a showing, like he was going to see the kid in person, see if he wanted to pay for the kid. That's what it felt like. Okay, so Wonderworks is an upside down building, and it's on.
This is so fucked up, what I'm listening to right here. This is unbelievably fucked up, what I'm hearing right now. How am I just now hearing about this asshole?
On Candace's TikTok videos. It's an upside down building it's a tourist thing. And I said John Bonet's coming in. Well, they had a John Bonet display at Wonderworks. So at least at the time. So
that is crazy.
What that did for me personally was confirm that it's very likely the rest of my reading is accurate as well. Okay, and then I saw a carousel, and at that time, so then I was much to my surprise.
Dude, she's talking about very public places. Very public places that anybody who's recently been to Gatlinburg can describe something that's very public in Gatlinburg. She doesn't even need to go on a person's social media and question. She can go on anybody's social media, talk to anybody who says that this is what they saw in Gatlinburg. And so she uses these details to validate her saying that Candace took Summer to meet a buyer looking to purchase a child. So her own mother. This is fucking gross, dude.
Go after the reading, I go on to there and look up I looked up carousel in Hawkins County, Tennessee, and there's a carousel in Kingsport. So that is, of course, likely the place.
Dude, there's a fucking carousel everywhere, bro. What are you
where
talking about?
Some sort of transaction took place, some sort of interaction. And as you can see in the 12-minute, I did see the mother, but I didn't see the father.
Yeah.
And I have a little chills on my leg.
Yeah.
I got chills.
Okay, so I didn't
chills.
know. I don't remember.
Because I've been sitting in my own bullshit that it got cold. And I got chills.
That she was transferred at that very time, though, and so that may have happened at another location. But again, like, say if law enforcement was listening, which I mean, they do their own investigation. They don't need me to tell them what to do. But all the surveillance camera around there, you would see the guy that did this. Then I'm also talking. I saw a gazebo with a mirror image that went above and below. And remember how it confused me? See, at Bay Mountain Park, there's a gazebo that's built out on a dock over the water, and it's such crystal clear water. There's a perfect mirror image of it.
Wait.
And so I don't know.
There's a gazebo on a dock on the water? Dude, any large body of water, bro. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Any large body of water is going to have a gazebo near it. Guaranteed. I promise. I promise. You know why? Because people like to sit by the water in the shade. So it's practical to build a gazebo in your backyard on the water. Just saying. Just saying.
Oh, but part of the crime may have occurred there, but I'm not sure. I'm getting some spirit energy on that.
Okay.
Okay. I saw 3 men actively participating in what felt like I don't know if you're even allowed to say.
Yeah, just cryptically say it if you can, I guess.
SNUF film.
Right.
In which the reading I saw, they would have kept her around for a while, but had to do a standard dozier, DOZIER.
Wow.
Combined with the fact that I saw one man in costume plunge a knife into her belly, and there is a knife called that, likely explains it. Other possible urban slang dictionary.
Wow. There's a lot of gory detail in something that there's no evidence ever even fucking took place. A lot of shit to say on YouTube when you're looking for justice to find a child. Interesting.
Dictionary was, quote, to overdose on medication or to make a slave. So in the end, you know, hopefully they made a pretend movie or something. You know, I always hope until the end.
Or, I mean, on one hand, yes, let's just hope that they were making a pretend movie. Or everything you're saying is absolute and utter bullshit.
Always hope. Just because I say it doesn't mean it's, you know, this is my vision.
Right.
What happened in my vision. But it was pretty bad.
You need a fucking psychiatrist if this is what you're visualizing. Something's fucking wrong with you. Okay? Like, even my imagination doesn't go there. I think subconsciously because it doesn't want to. Okay? But to sit here and spew all this shit and give some bullshit disclaimer, it's just very funny to me. And guys, try not to get triggered by this shit. I get it, you know, and I'm not trying to tell anybody how to feel or anything like that, but try to remember at least that this is not a credible person. Okay? Find the humor in it if you can, because even though what she's saying is disgusting and awful and fucked up, to me, it's just easier to make fun of her and call her out for being a complete and total jackass. So
bad, and I saw way more details. Like, it was horrible. Other visions I received, a steam engine, and that comes through a lot. So it could be near where there's a steam engine in a park. It could also be near railroad tracks. It could be where a train goes over a bridge. So there's, I said, one thing to see the things and another thing to find them, and especially when you're like on the other side of the country. But so I got steam engine, Tennessee Hills, horse stable, and the child was molested in the home.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yes.
Blank was selling child for drugs or money for men to sexually abuse.
So now,
Blank,
now Summer was sexually abused at home, according to her. Yo, this lady is unreal.
The stabbing I saw looked very theatrical. I mean, and the spirits show you everything for a reason. So
the spirits.
A lot of people have took that up and ran with it, and it did look very theatrical. They were filming it, and the person doing the main things was wearing a costume. And what I said, he just did there.
Awesome.
I saw that they were filming this. Okay, so then I talked about the aquarium.
So let me get this straight. So according to you, she was sold to furries. Okay. Dudes who like to dress up in costumes. Okay.
Aquarium. Some people think that was aquarium at Bays Mountain Park. It sounds more like the aquarium in Gatlinburg. So essentially, somebody was following them around in Gatlinburg, looking at Summer, right? And I told this. Here, I contacted Don Wells. I told them that, and he had told me right a couple days, you know, that weekend right prior to Summer's disappearance, she, Candace was running all over Kingsport.
You make
I saw
that
Summer
sound
on a
like
couch, and
she makes it sound like she was doing suspicious shit by running all over Kingsport. Like, dude, it sounds like she was out on a day trip with her kids, getting shit done. It's just unbelievable.
she was being abused, and you know, and this is barely even saying. I mean,
Yeah.
the torture.
So sad.
Yeah, you look so convincing there, Lauren, sweetie pie. You look so fucking convincing right now, trying to pimp this tragedy.
So essentially, what I see is her being shown in Gatlinburg.
Oh, so sad.
There being money exchanged by the carousel, and then later there's a trade-off or a handoff or something. But I didn't see the actual handoff. What I saw was I would see glimpses of this kind of car, like a kind of fancy car.
Okay.
And I already talked about the gingerbread house, the gum wrapper change. So that's all in Gatlinburg. And like I said, it gives more credibility for me, at least, to know that I'm on point.
Oh my God.
Okay, so the jackrabbit. And that's when you get something. Okay, you see a jackrabbit running across for no reason. If you're doing psychic work and you'd go, that shouldn't be there, and discount it. Never discount anything.
Oh, you know how many fucking rabbits I see, dude, here in Tennessee? Do you have any fucking idea? At first, I would take pictures and video. Like I would, sneak up on them because I didn't want to scare them away. Because I was like, holy shit, a rabbit. That's cool. Then I started seeing them all the fucking time. It just lost its luster. It's not weird that somebody saw a fucking rabbit. That's exactly, Jess. How I wonder what detectives say listening to this shit. Now, I want to be clear. Like, it's been known that in the past that psychics have helped with investigations and that they have been sought out by detectives when they have fucking nothing. But I don't think that detectives sought her help. I just don't think that happened. I don't believe that at all. Just for the record.
Be a name of something or a reference. The one things that I did find was that the carousel in Kingsport does have a wooden jackrabbit that you can sit on. And also there's a Tennessee football player named.
Wow. So that's interesting. Wow. So a carousel that you could sit on has shapes of animals that you could sit on? Different ones, not just horses? Man, that's crazy. This is a very unique carousel, y'all, that it actually has a rabbit that you would sit on the carousel. Wow.
Named Jack Rabbit. Just putting that out there. But that doesn't mean it's him. I didn't see any football player. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not trying to make any kind of accusation, but those are the only two things I could find. So either they're confirming
I love
to me
that shit.
that this is.
I'm not trying to make any accusation, but I'm up here grifting for money, fucking implying that Candace sold her own daughter to a trafficker. Interesting.
Actually, the Kingsport carousel rather than a different carousel because of the wooden jackrabbit that's part of the ride, or so I asked if Summer was.
This is a year old. So Summer's been missing for a year and a half, little over a year and a half. And yeah,
alive in her physical.
This is a year old.
Body. And like as a psychic, if you ask if someone's alive and they're in spirit, they might still tell you yes because they don't die. And if you get very advanced, I don't think the spirits like you to think that
all of these excuses as to why your shit might be inaccurate. All of it's fucking inaccurate. All of it. Guaranteed.
They want you to, be putting it out there. The afterlife is real. Okay. So anyways, I asked the spirits, well, is Summer alive in her physical body? And what they showed me was my daughter Nicole appeared in front of me. She was sitting there and she was holding Summer in her lap. And so that led me to conclude that Summer is not in her physical body. That she's my daughter's holding her right now.
What an asshole.
It's my daughter's deceased too, for people who don't know.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's a bummer, but it's even shittier for you to use your own daughter to fucking sell this bullshit.
And then I did pick up that grandmother has full knowledge of what occurred. And then, of course, the carousel came up again. So through every reading, the carousel is a major factor. I said I picked up child abuse. That's obvious. A lot of family activity in the second reading that's on Sweetie Pilo's channel. I'm going to skip that. I think it's been kind of gone over on YouTube. So I was also picking up a J. And then when I asked, well, is there any info specifically that LE could use? I received IV, bridge, train, and steamboat. I know there's a steamboat in the background at one of the pictures of Gatlinburg. Also in that same picture, there's a man leaning against his truck. But, it could be some guy waiting for his wife. Like, you can't just jump to, oh my God, you can't zoom out to the point where it's clear. At least I was going to try to ask them for a photograph of that so I could try to look closer, but I guess Mr. Wells changed his phone number. Not
exactly. I was just gonna say that
they don't want him to keep
she's just going for, she's listening to her audience and she's got her ear to the grindstone of what her audience is listening to and what they're saying and the bullshit that's being spun on other bullshit channels, and then she's using that shit because people want to believe that bullshit. People want to be they want their insane theories to be confirmed as correct, and that's why they log on to this bullshit. Hold on, let's check out. Let's check out. This is about Dylan. So already she tags Dylan's name in the Idaho case. She tags Dylan's name for this live stream. So I can only imagine where this is going. And of course she's got her fucking she's got her filter as her counterpart. It's just so funny. Like, I can't look at this lady and not think that she's wearing a mask and a wig. It's so weird.
Okay, you're live.
Yay!
Yay! Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Can you see us? Can you see us and hear us?
Oh my God! Yes, we can.
Let's see. I think they can, but let's be sure. Okay, I see a thumbs up. I think that's a good sign.
Okay.
Okay. Yep, people are saying yes, they can hear us.
Yay!
This fucking lady on the right, Lauren, she's probably fucking poison. Like, she's probably one of those ladies where, like, the neighbors wave to her, right? They're like, "Oh, hey, girl," and then they're like, "Fucking bitch, can't stand that fucking bitch." I can just see that shit where she's like, "What's up?" Like, Lauren's a Karen, bro. Like, it. I'm just here. My psychic abilities now. Don't quote me, because as a psychic, people, I'm not always correct. All right. As a psychic, I'm not always correct, but I'm picturing Lauren complaining about someone's tree branch venturing into her yard. I'm picturing I'm picturing Lauren as a fucking Karen. Patricia Sell, thank you so much. We don't want to see you anymore. Yes, I'm picturing Lauren is smiling at her neighbor and saying, "Hi. Hi. I just wanted you to know that your tree branch is leaning over into our yard and it casts a shadow at a certain time of day. And during that time of day, I'm doing my meditations and my yoga. And so could you please maybe trim that? Because it's really fucking with my chi." It's just my vision, people. I'm not saying that it's accurate. All right. It's just my vision. I don't know if it's accurate. Okay. I want to be clear about that. My, what do you call it? Disclaimer.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. If you're new to my channel, my name is Reverend Donna Seraphina. I'm a spiritualist reverend. I have a background in criminal justice. And I've had several family members murdered, so I do have quite experience with.
I have a background in criminal justice. I can't feel my fucking face because it's not really my face. I'm actually an alien in Men in Black wearing fake skin.
With the entire thing, and that's what's led me down this path. And I have a special guest today. You might already know her. Her name is Lauren from the YouTube channel Sweetie Pilo. True crime.
Hello. If any of my subs are in here, hello, and hello to Donna's subs that I don't know. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, this was kind of a surprise guest. So hopefully, so I wonder, should we start with what we're talking about the
coordinates?
Yeah, the coordinates.
So,
okay, so this is what's going on. On the case of the 4 Idaho college students, Lauren and I, we did a live stream on January 1st, which is on her channel, if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
Dude, you know Lauren was a fucking bitch in school, bro. You know it, dude. Look at her. She was a total mean girl. I mean, that's just what the spirits are telling me, okay? Don't quote me on this because I don't know her. Didn't go to school with Lauren, okay? Just the spirits are telling me that Lauren was a fucking mean girl, okay? That Lauren would start rumors about people and then act all innocent and be like, "How dare you?" She would be like, "Did you hear that she had crabs and she caught them from the teacher?" Yeah, the one that the teacher that gave me detention the other day, right? Him. She caught crabs. And then when the rumor like perpetuates, then somebody says, "How dare you say that about her? That's my friend. How dare you?" She's one of those. At least that's what the spirits are telling me. Okay? Spirits are telling me that she flirted with all her male teachers and then called them creeps. It's just what the spirits are telling me, people. Okay? All right, I'm back. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah. It's kind of a no holds barred. I don't usually talk like that, but I was getting a lot off my chest. But at the same time, we were also talking about a website called 4chan, and it's very obnoxious. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, but there was some good information.
Bro, your channel is the 4chan of YouTube. What the fuck are you talking about?
Out on there. And just like other social media platforms, it seemed that Brian was all over it. And at one point, every time you go on 4chan, I believe you get a new ID number. You don't actually have an account. And so one person was giving coordinates where they might find something. And okay, you could take it from there, Lauren.
So, gosh, let's see. Was this? Let me remember if there's a specific date. I think it was maybe November 20th. it could have been a little before then though. There was 2 separate occasions where somebody was in 4chan dropping actual coordinates. And these coordinates, when I had my husband plug in the coordinates, because they're written down in such a way that, like for me, when I try to look it up on my own, I wasn't able to find the locations, but I'm not great with that kind of stuff. So my husband is. So
I see, hold on, the spirits are telling me something else about Lauren's. I see a man cave. I see a man cave. I see beer or hard liquor. And I see a great distance that says, fuck, she's coming. I feel that. I feel like I hear a man thinking in his mind, fuck, she's coming in her house. It's just a vision, people. It's not, I don't know. I'm not there. Okay. It's just a vision, folks. Just want to be clear. Disclaimer, I think is what you call them.
He checked it out. One of these locations that's listed in these coordinates is just outside of Moscow. And then the other location, and by the way, I think it was Robinson Park and was it Pinecrest Drive, I think. So it's kind of like in a random field behind some, almost looks like a barn or something like that, just randomly in this field. That's where the coordinate goes to. Now, this other location is to a place in Viola, which is north of Moscow. And that also is in a very random field.
I'm telling you.
So
is
Donna,
this lady wearing a fucking rubber mask or what? What is going on, dude?
she wanted me to tell you guys that a few days ago, one of my subs or a person that's like newly acquainted with my videos had reached out.
Did you ever see that movie White Girls, bro? Like, is that what happened to one of the white girls when they aged? White Chicks. That movie White Chicks. Is that what? Dude, like, she looks she looks like Mrs. Doubtfire's fucking evil twin, bro.
And they were very interested in going to look at these locations. So I sent them over all I had as far as the coordinates and stuff go. And yesterday, this person went out and started looking at stuff and, kind of checking it out with their metal detector. So if there is something out there, I assume there's snow and stuff. He's supposed to send me some videos, so at least I can better see the areas of what they look like and stuff. But if there's something, he knows obviously to call law enforcement and stuff. But it should be really interesting because why these locations? Why these random coordinates? And so many people, I think, were dismissing.
Bro, I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about right now.
Just because it seemed important.
Oh yeah, so that takes us to what they found in his apartment.
Yes,
right?
I wanted to talk about that.
Oh, this should be fucking great.
You know what?
One of my favorite fucking things about this case, about the Idaho case, and the stuff that comes out about it, is idiot channels speculating over the fucking stuff that was found, during the search warrant and searching Brian Kohberger's property. I found that really funny because holy shit, he had a flashlight. Oh my God. What the hell was he doing with a flashlight? And what the hell was a guy who was studying criminology? Why the fuck did he have gloves? That makes no sense at all. Okay. Dude.
He says, okay, so I said some really gross things that I saw him do. So the day before they arrested him, I put up that graphic warning to his mother, like, you are in danger. Don't confront him. He will kill you too. Remember? And it was like either that night or the night after they did the raid and arrested him.
I know.
And isn't that weird? Because it's like
It
I
is.
had no physical world way of knowing he was at his parents'.
Right.
But I just knew I could see the mom, thinking that. And if she said anything of him just sticking a knife right in her too. So they were lucky. But what so I'd seen a few things, right? I
Yes.
had seen his fantasy where people keep saying, and I'm like, why do they keep saying that? I've explained it already, why his belt sheath may have fallen off. Because he may have hoped to be able to consummate his sick fantasy.
Yeah.
And then I talked about the fantasy at his mother's, which was another a sick thing he did. So for me, what struck out
thing did he do?
The search warrant on his apartment was the fact that there was so much blood in his bed.
Thank you. That's exactly when I saw that, Donna, I'm thinking,
okay, there's nothing that says that there was blood in his bed. Where the fuck are you getting that information from? What blood was found in Brian Kohberger's bed? There's nothing that says that. What the fuck are you talking about?
this is like what she was talking about, because all over his bed, what do people do in private in their beds? It's exactly what you said.
Yeah.
They jerk off, eat, and sleep. They stuff chocolate up their ass if they're BHB. Team Brittany, thank you so much again. I'm feeling a man cave with the glare of neon sign, leather jacket, a cig, and a water somewhere. Maybe a barn or a random field and some grass or some dirt. Please call the authorities because this case is fucking solved. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, what the, like, really? What does somebody do in private in their bed? I don't know, dude. Like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah. So even before he went to take a shower, he wanted to do that with the blood on him. I mean, that's what that tells me.
Okay, wait. Stop. Fucking stop. Like, are you sitting here telling me right now that this dude, according to you, in your visions, homeboy went home and jerked off in the blood of the victims in his bed? Shocking. Like, there's nothing to indicate this at all. Nothing. And you yo, seriously, bro, listen. Mrs. Men in Blackfire and fucking Karen over here, like, you guys need to get laid, okay? Or something. I don't know. Fucking go play bridge somewhere and interact with other people, whatever the fuck. But my first instinct tells me that you guys have not seen any action, either one of you, in a long time. If you're sitting here talking about Brian Kohberger jerking off in people's blood, what in the shit is wrong with you people?
And so that's just one more just disgusting
It's so
confrontation. What?
It's so nauseating to imagine, right?
Yeah.
It's so
I mean,
nauseating.
he clearly, because that's where the blood.
She said it's so nauseating to imagine, right? Ew. That's why I fucking made it up. Ew, it's so nauseating to imagine this bullshit fantasy I just came up with and put out into the universe. Ew.
Blood is.
Yeah.
He didn't go straight to the shower. He went straight to his bed to
what?
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Sicko. This guy is so sick.
Donna, why do you think we keep hearing, well, I personally keep hearing these commentators on these news networks like News Nation and stuff, they're acting so underwhelmed by this probable cause affidavit. Are you underwhelmed? How do you feel about it?
Okay, do you mean the search warrant or the The probable cause for arrest.
The actually, I'm sorry, the search warrant. That's what I meant to say.
The search warrant. Well, they were hoping that there would be more.
Yeah.
They were hoping that so it looks like what it sounds like he did was he maybe wore some larger clothes, or like people keep putting up that overall thing. Wore that, probably took it off by the time he walked to his car, slipped his shoes off, so he didn't leave a trail as much in his car, but obviously there'd still be a trail. He must have had blood in his hair. And I did see him. I saw.
All right. Let me get this straight, Sherlock. So, your theory here, based on your visions, is that dude was covered in blood, made sure not to get any in his car, changed clothes or took off clothes or whatever the fuck to make sure he didn't get any in his car, but made sure to preserve enough to get into his own bed and jerk off in. That's awesome. Good for you.
I saw him bring a big jar. I've seen a big jar and I've seen a little jar. Okay. I saw a little jar he brought to his parents that looked like the size of a baby food jar of blood. And that's what I saw him using at his parents. And then I saw him a bigger jar where he took a body part and he buried it at the same time he buried the knife, but he didn't bury them right next to each other. So that's what I saw.
Do you? Oh, sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say.
So this guy who is working on a doctorate in criminal justice. Okay. This guy who is working on a doctorate in criminal justice, a guy who is significantly smarter than both of the people on panel right now. Okay. Let me get this straight. He put blood in a baby jar, right? Was real careful to not get any blood in his car, but took blood from the victim's blood, collected it in a baby jar so that he could go home and masturbate in it. Okay. But he also buried the murder weapon. Didn't throw it, didn't get rid of it, so that he couldn't be connected to it. Right? He buried the murder weapon, probably somewhere where it could be connected to him. Great thinking. You guys are just.
I say, do you think it's possible he buried this stuff, like really could have buried it at his parents once he arrived?
It's possible. So I don't think he would have an attachment to the clothing.
Right.
So he probably got rid of that somewhere, and maybe that's what they'll find. And the coordinates you're looking at, and they could even find the knife there. I mean, he could have done it. I don't know where he did it. Clearly he went all over the state that day. Yeah. Right. So he was on a massive adrenaline rush. When I saw him after the murder and he was looking at what he did, he was exhilarated. Mm-hmm. He was on a high. It was like the energy, just explosion in the house. And pure adrenaline.
It was a fucking rave. It was a rave on King Road. Dude, no, listen. It doesn't take a psychic, okay? It doesn't take a psychic. A guy who is going to murder 4 people, all right, is going to get some sort of gratification from that. It wasn't like, oh, I didn't want to do it, but I had to type of situation. This is a guy who brutally murdered 4 people, allegedly, and left. But your grand conclusion here is I had a vision that he got a high from. Of course he got a fucking high from it. He's a psycho who fucking killed 4 people. Of course he got a high from it. Doesn't take Sigmund fucking Freud to figure that out. Okay, it doesn't take Mindhunter to nail that one.
No remorse whatsoever in the slightest
You
bit.
think?
And so that kind of adrenaline would keep someone up for days.
Oh, it's probably
Okay.
similar to like a meth high. You know how the meth keeps people up for days and days and days? I can imagine for him, that's what it could have been equivalent to.
Oh yeah, just
Wired him
being
up.
wired. So he goes home,
Meth.
and for me, I guess the arrest, the search warrant for his apartment was important because it verified more that I've said, how disgusting how this is a SA crime, even though he wasn't able to carry out the SA things at his house. I mean, at their house, he clearly.
I love how people like this censor themselves for the sake of monetization. That shit is so fucking funny to me. That she's sitting there talking about some dude taking a baby jar of blood and jerking off in it, but says SA instead of sexual assault. I just fucking find that shit hilarious. And nobody's like,
Went home and laid in his bed and did something before taking a shower. So he's all meticulous about all this other stuff. And he still didn't throw that stuff away.
Yeah.
Now that's weird too. So he must have really thought he was out of the blue as far as, I mean, because how do you not know that you've got a pillow laying there with a bunch of blood soaked into it? Right.
I know. I really think he didn't.
Where are you getting that there was blood on his bed? What the fuck are you talking about? There is no fucking anything that says that Brian Kohberger's pillow was found with blood on it. Well, actually, no. Wait a second. There is. But they didn't confirm that it was blood. They said that they were taking it and having it tested. Sorry about that. I had to rewind there for a second, but yes, there is actually something that says that Brian Kohberger's pillow had something, and it had to be tested. They took it from the search warrant. They took it as a result of the search warrant, and there was a stain. But dude, I don't know anybody. Okay, if anybody has ever had fucking acne or cut themselves fucking shaving at some point and there was a scab and in their sleep that doesn't mean that that's actually in the scale of things, the likelihood that it being that explanation or something like it versus him taking a jar of blood home and jerking off with it and them finding a little speck of it on his pillow as a result of him taking home a jar of the victim's blood and jerking off in it. Sorry, but it doesn't. The likelihood is going to lead to the former, not the latter. I'm sorry.
So there's two things, actually. I think one of the things I think is either he didn't care about getting caught or he almost wanted to get caught. Because he didn't think that they were in any way, that he was in any way in their sight, law enforcement sight, because he wasn't truly connected to them. He wasn't like a former boyfriend of any of theirs.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know what to make of it. Did he want to get caught?
That's a good question. If anyone else has any input about that, if he wanted to get caught or not.
Yeah.
I wondered that too. And then the only thing I can think of is
Master Civ Sophos, thank you so much, dude. Sigmund Freud, brilliant. Glare is the legend. You're a legend, dude. Thank you so much.
he's a narcissist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So clearly people
God.
who've known him have talked about the fact that he
here is a we just in the last live stream talked about the word narcissism overused in true crime. We had a licensed mental health professional in the chat, Ken's Counseling Couch, say how little of a chance that somebody is actually has narcissist personality disorder. Ali Sin, member for a month. Welcome to Logic. Thank you so much. Obviously, her inside informant is the fart box. Exactly. So yeah, here we are, and we're jumping this person who claims to be a have a bachelor's in criminal justice all of a sudden is making a diagnosis that this person is a narcissist. Interesting. Okay.
He always wants everyone in the room to know he's smarter than them.
True.
He can recite more facts than them. Okay, so he's super smart.
Okay, yeah, we already know that. We know that about him because people have said this.
Not be anything else, but he's so intelligent that other people are not as intelligent. Right. And that could have been what did him in.
Could have been.
So it's either the narcissism or did he have some inner desire to get caught, and then the attention that would bring, was he looking forward to, years of people wanting to interview him and getting a special name and going down in history?
Yep, exactly. And the thing is in August, he put his genealogy, those tests, those 23andMe. He actually had that uploaded. So he did the swab, is what I'm getting at, the DNA swab. And he had that uploaded into the database in August.
So why would he do that? If he was already stalking them, right? Like, he started stalking them. Why would he put his DNA in there?
I know.
Or maybe he fucking just dropped the Seath and fucking didn't think to pick it up. Doesn't mean he did it on purpose. He slipped. That's a cop's job, is to find out where the criminal slipped. Every criminal's trying to get away with their crime. The glare, I could fit some of your behavior to several diagnoses. It doesn't mean you have it. You might not meet the criteria, or it doesn't explain other symptoms, etc. Right. Exactly. Thank you.
You would wonder if he did want to get caught. Right.
And then leaving the sheath behind, and you say it's probably from unzipping the pants. That totally makes sense to me. In fact,
So lawyer mystery maven Jess is a criminal attorney. And I love when criminal attorneys get frustrated listening to people's bullshit. She's like, oh my God, don't get me started on the DNA. No one knows about the DNA and it's more complicated. Exactly. We don't know shit about the DNA. All we know is that it was a match for his dad. That's it. That's all we know.
He wanted to put some blood on it.
Yeah.
His
wanted to put some blood on it. To be able to do that there with the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
He's as sick as Ted Bundy that way.
Yes. Absolutely.
Ted Bundy was real sick like that. He liked to do things with he would go back as the body was decomposing and do it again. This guy is real sick in the head also.
Yeah.
No.
And there is no doubt in your mind, Donna, right, that they've got the right guy.
Oh, for sure.
I feel the same way.
For sure. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind either, because I saw him.
I mean, the probable cause affidavit pretty much dictates that they got the right guy based on the evidence that they claim to have. And we don't even know what evidence they actually have. We know that much of the evidence that they claim to have, but we don't know what they plan on using to actually prosecute Bryan Kohberger in a court of law. We don't know. Okay. We don't even know that they're planning on using the stuff that they found during the search warrants, because that stuff still has to be tested. All we know is that that's what they took. But we don't know what that turns up. Could be nothing. Could be absolutely fucking nothing. But here's this bachelor's degree in criminal justice talking about how all of this stuff is somehow going to lead to him getting convicted. And this is a no doubt in my mind. I mean, okay. I mean, I agree in the sense that, I believe law enforcement knows what they're doing and they arrested the right guy based on what we know.
And not as clearly as you see him on TV, but I saw him well enough to describe him, which fits him to a T. But the other thing is his energy. There's no doubt in my mind that that's who did those murders at all.
Right.
No.
There isn't in mine either. at all. And you know how it is, just like with Brian Laundrie and Gabby, there's always going to be those people come out in defense of the accused, and they're doing it with this Brian as well. Like, oh, he's innocent. I don't know.
I saw in some group, I don't know if it's true, that he already had $10,000 on his books.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't
People
seen
are
that.
already writing him. He's already got his little fan club and everything.
Just like Dahmer did. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's sick.
We can't be supporting these maniacs, you know?
No, they need to quit having special names. They need to quit having.
See, the irony
you know,
is so funny because by throwing all this bullshit out there that they're throwing out there, they're making it easier for his defense to create doubt. This is what's really funny. They have no idea, or they just don't fucking care. But they're sitting here going, you can't defend these maniacs. You can't defend these awful people. We know they're guilty. Okay. But why contribute to whatever their defense might use as far as using social media as a tool to create doubt? Why contribute to that? Makes no sense. If you're so all about trying to get these people convicted or this person convicted, it's ridiculous.
Build up in the mainstream media a fascination with them where it's put over the top, and all that should stop.
I totally agree.
So wait. So we need to stop putting shit out there that's totally over the top, right? You know, but let's keep it to him taking a jar of blood home and jerking off and spilling a little bit on his pillow in the process. Let's keep it to that, because that's not over the top. Okay. Wow.
I've been wanting to ask you, since I haven't been able to really have a conversation like this since our live we did a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago. What are your thoughts on this whole Dylan thing now? DM, the roommate.
Yeah, Dylan.
Yeah.
So in the Xana Kernodle reading that I did for a couple friends of hers, I don't know if you heard that segment. So that was
you see
the
what
day
you
or
did
two
there?
before. Thank you, Robin.
I didn't just do that just willy-nilly. I got the blessing from her friends. Just so you know, just for the record, you know.
That was a day or two before they released the affidavit. So it's real interesting that they put foreshadowings in that reading, right? Because they were getting me to say about the button. And then the other thing was they did a whole segment on Dylan, showing us Dylan. And
Okay.
so this is before anyone even knew. And it showed, because I saw her falling back, and it was like her body was out of her physical body.
Oh.
Okay. And I guess that's what they called disassociation. But the way I saw it was in her room. She was like, her body was falling back on her bed, and
What?
she was in so much shock that her energy body was out of her body.
So that's what that meant. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So why did that happen in her bedroom? Explain that to me. Why did that happen in her bedroom? Why did she have this out-of-body experience in her bedroom before she saw this person with the bushy eyebrows? Explain that to me.
So she was definitely traumatized, and they showed me so much trauma because they had me feel her trauma for a minute, and the level of trauma was so much that a human brain couldn't handle it. Okay. That it would make you wouldn't even think you're going crazy because there's so much trauma. There are no thoughts. Right. Thank you, Bean, very much appreciated.
Makes sense.
And I was worried about something, but I didn't want to say it without figuring out how to say it right. But I had a feeling like she's at jeopardy, a risk of self-harm.
Oh,
And I felt concerned.
Gee, I wonder why that is
at the time, because the trauma was so extreme. And I was saying, boy, I hope she has.
No, she's in danger of self-harm because of fucking tragedy pimp assholes like you. Okay? She's in danger of self-harm because people are blaming her literally for what happened to those 4 people. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's not in danger of self-harm because she had an out-of-body experience. She's in danger of self-harm because now she's being dragged all over the fucking internet by idiots.
As professionals that are helping her through this. But unfortunately, most professionals have never actually been through anything like this. So all they can do is recite what they read in a book, right?
Right.
And she really, really needs a strong support system around her. And then, people say, oh, was she on drugs? The thing is, I don't have a knowing about that. I mean, you
don't have
know,
a vision?
you would wonder. And the rumor about
Stop.
different drugs, clearly they were all intoxicated.
So you can sense trauma. Okay? You can sense trauma, but you can't sense impairment? What?
On something. And
Okay,
people
hold
that
on,
age,
hold on.
clearly they wonder. And the rumor about different drugs, clearly they were all intoxicated on something. And people that age.
Okay. How is it clear that they were all intoxicated on something? Did you get an autopsy report or 4 autopsy reports that none of us are aware of? Did you get 4 toxicology reports that state that they were clearly all intoxicated?
Definitely experiment a lot
yeah,
more.
they do.
Could she have been on? Yeah, but in the end, that doesn't make her guilty of murder.
No, 2
It
separate
doesn't.
things.
No, it's 2 separate things. And then if she was raised in a family or around people where you're taught not to call the police.
True.
Like she could have woke up. You keep hearing all these different rumors. Like one is, they woke up and the door was locked and
Okay.
Ethan's alarm clock.
Doesn't matter what the rumors are. Okay, I'm going to settle this right now. It's extremely possible that Dylan didn't call 911 because she didn't think that there was a reason to. Simple. Simple. Very possible and very likely that Dylan didn't call 911 when she saw a strange man go through the house with bushy eyebrows, because there are a lot of strange men that come through the house that time of night, it being a party house. And maybe she didn't panic and jump to the worst possible conclusion, which nobody would come to, that all of her roommates were just murdered. Because if I'm living in that house and then I think to myself, that dude could have just murdered all 4 of my roommates, I'm going to dismiss that thought immediately. And I'm going to go, Will, you need to stop smoking so much fucking weed. You got to stop eating those Mike Tyson edibles because your brain is going. I would not jump to that conclusion unless I actually saw one of them or I saw blood all over the place. Unless I saw these things, I'm not going to jump to the conclusion to call 911. I'm just not. Like, nobody wants to, think about that. Nobody wants to come up with that real simple, not so entertaining possibility and likelihood that Dylan just didn't see anything worth calling 911 about. Simple.
Clock kept going off. Or you hear other people say the smell and stench would have been so strong because not only if you have stab wounds, but if they're in the intestines, there is going to be a lot of smell.
Oh, of course. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
So what happened? We're going to have to wait and see. I think that people should pray for her. I think that she's been through a traumatic situation that is going to affect her whole life.
Yeah.
And I've asked a few times about show me, is there anything that she did even inadvertently? And I'm not getting anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know it's such a delicate subject, we all have to approach really carefully because she truly can be a victim like in this. And she is, as of right now, an absolute victim.
First responsible thing I've heard either one of them say. She's absolutely a victim. Dylan Mortensen is absolutely a victim of this entire situation. Period.
Victim, of circumstance of being in the same house while all that happened. So
and the thing about their house is it was normal for strangers to walk in. And in fact, I feel like they probably never locked their sliding door. I feel like, a lot of times they had it set off or they gave all their friends the number to the front door. And so it was normal in that house for strangers to be going in and out at all hours. That was normal,
Duh.
and so she sees someone and she's scared from all the noise, but she doesn't know. And it's like, it does feel like she must have known something to be in that level of trauma where she's literally knocked out of her body. If you've ever been in a bad car accident or had some really serious,
literally knocked out of her body. Okay. So everything's fucking normal, but she's traumatized. I don't get it. What's she traumatized about? Are you saying she's psychic? Is that the conclusion you're coming to now? That Dylan's psychic? Okay.
severe thing happen where you're not even in touch with your physical body anymore. That's how she was. And so I just think that people need to pray for her and give her support, and who cares if she was on drugs? Who really cares?
That's irrelevant to me if she was.
No, it's irrelevant. And maybe the drug laws are, but it doesn't seem like, oh, I'm on drugs and now I'm not. Now, maybe in the morning when they were going to call the police, she wanted to get drugs out of there. And I don't want to even make that accusation, though, just because it's such a serious court date.
Right.
And, but the defense is going to have a field day. The defense is going to have a field day with this whole entire thing with Dylan. And she is, from what we see so far, she's the star witness.
Exactly. And if they deem her to be unreliable, what happens to the case?
Nothing.
Well, exactly. Or if they can, what do they call it when they kick a witness off the stand?
Okay, if she turns out to be unreliable, do you really think, that they arrested Brian Kohberger based on her statement? You think that they believe that they're going to be able to prosecute Brian Kohberger based on the bushy eyebrow statement? Or do you think that these professionals who know what they're doing and have a microscope on them by the public, that they have a lot more that they believe is going to be used to convict? This girl probably won't even take the stand. I don't know. But at this point, why would they even use her? With all the shit that all of these other channels have done, between Harsh Reality and Jonathan Lee Riches, between all of this shit that these people have done in regards to Dylan, why the fuck would the prosecution even bother using her? Makes no sense. I mean, I don't know, but I wouldn't think so.
Stand.
Not voir dire. Is that what? No, that's not voir dire.
No, that's the jury. What you did to the jury.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called.
I forgot too. Let's see a
Yeah.
couple of these questions.
Oh yeah.
Go for it. Let me see.
This should be rich.
Have you gotten any impressions about his teacher? She's talking about the teacher that studies
Ramsland.
See, I love this.
I think that
and I've always said this, guys. A person's chat speaks volumes about the creator. A creator's chat speaks volumes about that creator, in my opinion. And already you've got the nature of this question from this person, and she chooses that question to address. But the nature of this question implies that they believe that Brian Koberger did not work alone. Somebody had to know. Somebody had to be working with him. No way that this guy could have killed 4 people and leave the house undetected. No way. So you've already got people in her chat who want to believe something that there's no evidence to support.
My feelings are about that is that just goes to show it's such a good illustration of how people have two different lives, or how they can put up a front. And in that front, he's this good student, he's a smart kid, but in the back, he's plotting murdering people. And someone who's even studied that and teaches that didn't notice. So I just think it's a real good example of how good people can lie, and how you can't trust people. You can't always only go on.
Do you mean like a killer who's trying to get away with murder? Yeah, I'd say they probably lie pretty good.
Your gut instinct,
most of the time. In a murder like this, it's a little different. But yeah, there are other murderers that they're not very good at lying at all. Take Letitia Stock, for instance.
And when you're looking at anyone like Boy Scout teachers or regular teachers or, field trips or the YMCA, whatever, SA people seek out those kind of jobs. And just like Brian was trying to be a cop. I mean, he applied to be a cop there, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine how many years he would be going along doing these murders of co-eds the whole time, before he got caught?
So freaky to imagine.
Let's see anymore. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Hazel.
People are blasting her with super chats right now, which is really funny.
Have you got his teacher? So his teacher. It's very interesting.
It is, and now she's got like is it a gag order, I think, where she's not able to speak on any of this case, right?
Nobody
Whereas
is.
Before she found out that he was the guy, she was openly talking about it on different channels from what
Yeah, she was on a bunch of different channels, and then all of a sudden she said, I can't say anything anymore because I don't know if I'll be a witness or not.
Right. And then it turns out, whoa, that's wild, isn't it? Sure is. I'm recognizing some names in the chat. Hello, electronic medium. Good to see you.
Is she there? Hi.
Yeah,
I'm a psychic too. Electronic medium. Hi.
My chat's going slower, probably. Finally, for the first time ever. I'm not complaining. I guess for the first time I can read it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Kate. Some people are more angry at Dylan than Brian. Yeah, Dylan seems to be a favorite to be bashed, and it's like, why? I mean, if you live in a house of people where there's constant parties, 100 feet away, he could have walked in and said, oh, they're dead. And that's when she fainted. I mean, it could have been that fast, other than when she have criminal records, or if they're typical paranoid about law enforcement and identity. So we don't know how she's been trained. And she wakes up runs out the door and calls people and says, I'm afraid to go in there. She may not have seen the bodies. She may just have an overwhelming sense of dread and it smells, and she may have run out of the house. And then when someone went over, like Hunter, if he was 100 feet away, he could have walked in and said, oh, they're dead. And that's when she fainted. I mean, it could have been that fast. Other than, she woke up and was like, oh my God, I saw her just really fast trying to get stuff to put in this box to toss. Does it matter? Like, to me, drug laws are way too strict anyway. Like, they should have where that shouldn't even be a situation, you know, but where there's a felony and there's a death, they can charge everyone who has a felony. So it's like her needing to do that or taking some time to do that. She's 20. Isn't she like 19 or 20?
I think so. Yeah. 20. Yeah. Probably 1920.
And when people judge her, right? When you judge her, because a lot of my viewers are like 30 to 60. So when we judge this 20-year-old, try to remember how you perceive the world at age 20.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, me. Okay. I grew up without a mom, and I lived with my boyfriend starting age 16. And when I was 20, I have no idea what I would have done. I probably would have climbed out a back window and kept running till they found me, like freaked out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Or
so someone just donated $99. I want to.
Or you would have just seen you would have just fucking seen the same shit you see in your house every fucking night at being a party house, and you go to bed. Because I'm sorry, dude, you're not going to bed and then jumping out of your body with trauma and then going to sleep. Like, that's not happening. You know what I mean? You're not having an out of body, a literal out of body experience due to trauma. Like, where you're traumatized to the point to where it knocks your soul out of your body. And then you're like, you know what? I think I'll catch some Z's. See y'all at noon tomorrow. No, bro.
I want to make sure to say thank you. Amy, I love you. Amy loves Louie, but I love Amy. Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you. Thank you very much. So,
Donna, when I was 15, I was inside of a bank when it got robbed. And
really?
My mom was right there with me, and I was just opening up a savings account. So that I was so new to it.
You're like, I'm not putting my money here.
Yeah, right. It was at Wells Fargo. Let's see.
I'm having a vision. Wells Fargo, I'm seeing red signs with yellow lettering. Having a vision of this incident. Oh my God. The bank robber held the teller at gunpoint while he asked for the combination to the safe, took out the drawer cash, pricked his finger, bled all over the drawer cash, jerked off in the safe, and then came out. What I'm visualizing, it's just a vision, okay? It's just a vision, right? It's not, don't quote me on this, because I'm not saying it happened. I'm saying that the spirits are telling me that dude is a drawer cash masturbator in banks, okay? That's all I'm saying.
19th Avenue, Bethany Home Road in 2000, I think 2001, 2000 maybe. Anyway, guys came in. They had the whole nylon stockings over their head.
Really?
All I know is I look to my right or to my left,
bro,
and I see these guys come.
Nobody fucking robs banks in nylon stockings over their heads, bro. Like, what did you get robbed in fucking? You were in a bank that got robbed in 1962. The fuck are you talking about?
Coming in the building, and I'm like, oh, immediately you hear everybody down. So me and my mom are pulling my mom. I'm trying to pull her down under the desk right in front of me because I'm actually meeting with a teller.
You know they got caught.
Under her side of the desk. We're underneath the other side of her desk, and I'm just hearing her.
Like, you know, those bank robbers got caught for fucking, like, dude. And you see nylon over somebody's face, you can still tell who it is. That shit is hilarious to me. I was watching Cobra the other day, and I was laughing because, like, yeah, it's a great movie. I mean, it's a bad movie, but it's great if you're nostalgic. And so, the main killer, this is during the terror reigned by Richard Ramirez, but prior to Richard Ramirez getting caught is when this movie was made and released. And so there's this loose reference to the Night Stalker and blah blah blah. Excuse me. And the main killer is this guy that they get, like, who has easily the most distinct facial features of anybody in any fucking movie ever made. He's got a jaw that goes out like this. I mean, and I remember seeing him, and he pulls down the nylon over his sweaty face, and he's like, ugh, right? But like his face looks exactly the fucking same. I'm like, it's not hiding anything. I'm like, dude, I could see your grotesque fucking jaw. Still, what are you doing with the pantyhose, guy? I don't understand what you're trying to pull here. Nobody robs banks with fucking pantyhose over their fucking heads, dude.
Trying to make,
like, you know, they got caught. The people that robbed the bank she was at fucking got caught.
Phone call to 911, and she's clanking the phone and like can't get it back on the, you know.
Oh no! Oh, because she's so scared. Yeah.
And it was so frightening. All I could think of was the movies when the big, you know, guns come around and blaze everybody up, and there's bullets everywhere, and everybody's dead. That's all I could think about in that moment. Was it wasn't about me dying? It was about seeing my mom die in front of me. Like that's what freaked me out.
Bro, how many movies have you seen where bank robbers roll up into a bank and just spray everybody the fuck down? Like, how many? Because I haven't seen any, dude. And I watch a lot of movies, dude. Like, I haven't seen any movie where fucking bank robbers roll up into a bank and kill everybody. It's including the people that are going to be able to get them the money that they need. What are you talking about, lady? Why would you think that they're going to come in there and spray everybody? And the bank's fucking insured, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm in a bank and it gets robbed, I'm like, whatever. I mean, am I going to be a little nervous? Sure. You know, a gun might go off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might happen. You know, I'm going to be a little nervous, but I'm going to be like, whatever, dude. They're just, I mean, they're not getting none of my money. My money's good. I don't give a fuck about these people robbing that bank. More power to them. Knock yourself out. You know, now they should be locked up for putting everybody in danger for sure. But do I give a fuck that they're robbing the bank? No.
Not the most. So to me, that's one of the closest things to serious trauma when I think back in life so far.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That was among like.
So then after the robbery or
That
during the robbery.
That explains a lot. What'd I tell you? So the closest thing that this person has ever felt to trauma was dudes in fucking pantyhose robbing a bank she was in. I mean, I'm probably going to feel a lot of feelings about that situation, but unless someone like puts a fucking gun to my head, you know, and then whispers fucking horrible shit in my ear, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see getting traumatized from that experience. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see that happening. I see like at most, you know, being like, man, that was fucked up. That sucked. But having to see a therapist or anything after that, no. You know what I mean? Like, it's another day at work for people like that. That's all.
Yes.
Then could you think, like, what was your thought process?
Oh gosh, I was just, well, first of all, I was so young, really. So my mind wasn't very developed at all because I was just a teenager. But all I felt like for days was that PTSD. Like when I would walk into a building, I just constantly felt like something bad was going to happen again.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of avoidant of social places for quite a while, really.
Yeah.
It shook me up a lot, Donna. It was
and trauma is something real. It's its own energy.
It is.
And it's really hard to think or function. Like, I think Dylan is in such an extreme state of trauma that when they showed her to me in the Xanacronodal reading, I was worried about her hurting herself, like due to all this trauma. And I think the questions are legitimate, but I think that she really needs people to pray for her and send her love. And she is a victim. And we don't know how this played out. If you're 20 years old, you're wasted off your ass, you've moved into this party house where they've got every neighbor in town seems to feel like they can come over and have a beer, whether you're there or not. Like, this house was essentially a public hall, is what it was. And she's hearing all this stuff going on in there. Are they over there fighting? Well, if she thought Xana and Ethan were having some sort of fight, she obviously was not going to get involved in that. And then she hears the one upstairs and she, some throwing around. She says she went to sleep. The only way she could go to sleep with that kind of adrenaline going is if she truly didn't know or told her.
I know, that's what I mean, is like, I love how people are like so quick to throw these medical terms around, like PTSD, dude. And it's such a fucked up thing to like, because people just, to throw that around, like a lot of people just throw around like OCD, like people just misuse these medical terms all the fucking time. It's really annoying. Oh my God, I'm OCD. My socks have to match. I'm OCD. No, you're not. No, you're not. Dude, I've met people who are OCD, dude. Like, it's fucking weird. Like I knew a guy who had to like step on his brake a certain amount of times before he came to a red light. So whenever you're driving with him, you're doing this once you get to a red light. And anytime he pulled a cigarette out of his pack, he would sit there and he would go, he would 1, 2, 3, 4, as many times as whatever he's told himself before he pulled a cigarette out. That is OCD. That is obsessive compulsive disorder. Okay. Like making sure that you have both a fork and a knife present when you eat a steak is not OCD. Okay. It's not OCD. And yes, and it's really insulting to people who actually have experienced trauma, such as rape victims, such as war veterans. It's really shitty to minimize what they go through by saying, I was traumatized for a couple days, but it passed. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of shitty.
Told herself it wasn't real. And with however much drugs and alcohol she had, it could be that she woke up, and it smelled real bad, and she was afraid to look, and she went outside and called all the guys.
How do you know it smelled real bad?
And they come over and call the police. So it might turn out that people want somebody to blame and they want somebody to hate. The person that needs to be blamed and hated is Brian. Okay. Brian is the one who did this.
Not necessarily. Allegedly, yes. And do I believe him to be guilty? Yes. But to tell people that they should be hating this person is irresponsible. It's crazy to just jump into that shit and just be like, you need to hate this person because they're guilty. You don't know that. Do I believe him to be guilty? Yes, I do. But he's pleading not guilty. And his lawyer seems confident they could get him off. So
not Dylan.
That's a good point.
Right. Dylan didn't do this. We can't really assume. So what did she say? She woke up around 10 and they called the police at noon? Or
that's what's alleged through those people's posts that are supposed to have firsthand knowledge of like Dylan and her goings on that day.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've heard about that in any formal document or anything like what she
No.
did that day. At least not that I know of.
Right. So do you know
Mhm.
what time the 911 call came in?
It was at 11:58 the call came in. But other than that, we don't know
11:58.
what time they got up that day. We don't know. I mean, nothing has been verified from Ellie. So
And if she went to bed around 4 a.m., she probably only woke up to go to the bathroom at 10 or 11.
Could have
You know, go
been.
back to bed or whatever. In that kind of, you know,
How
if
do
you've
you
been
know that?
drinking or whatever. But maybe it smelled so
Maybe she
bad
didn't
that
go to
she
the
was
bathroom
like
at all.
felt scared and went outside and just called everyone to come
Maybe she didn't go to the bathroom at all. What the fuck are you talking about?
just make sure everything was all right, but it turned out not to be all right. So I mean, it could be completely innocent, and
Yeah.
people are literally looking to blame this person. What if she committed suicide? I'm just going to say the word. Sorry for
Good
the
point.
algorithm. Oh God, the algorithm. I was worried
Yeah.
when I watched her of this being a potential result for her. That the trauma and stress was so.
So let me ask you this. With the very little evidence that there is in the Summer Wells case, and you sitting there saying that you had a vision that Candace sold Summer, and you have all of these people watching you say this bullshit, there's no danger to you about Candace possibly hurting herself? When you have no evidence dictating that she did anything wrong, right? It doesn't cross your mind that creating and then perpetuating rumors with your, let's see real quick, with your 58,000 subscribers and your 70,000 views, you don't think that with that type of influence, that Candace might hurt herself? That's not a concern for you? Why? Because you jumped to a conclusion. You jumped to a conclusion that she's guilty of a crime, even though there's no evidence to dictate that she's guilty of any crime. None at all. Because as far as the evidence goes, she's a mother who's missing her child. Now, handling all of the rumors and whatnot, questionable. Fair enough. I mean, but where's your evidence that Candace did anything to her child?
So extreme that her brain could barely handle it. And I was just like, oh my God, I
Wow.
hope she is surrounded by professionals that can help her through this and people that really know. Like I have severe PTSD. I have PTSD from all the things that happened in my life.
Absolutely.
And I hope she's around people who understand what that's like, because the trauma is too much for a human brain.
For sure. My husband and I actually had a really good conversation about this maybe a week ago. And he was reminding me of a time when my mom, I guess some guy came into my mom's backyard when she was home alone. And instead of calling the cops, guess who she called? She called my husband. And we weren't even living in the state of Arizona where my mom lives at the time. So instead of calling the cops, she called us like in North Carolina.
Oh, you mean she thought someone was breaking in?
She knew that somebody was in her backyard. I don't know what. Sorry if you guys are hearing these alerts on my computer. Yeah, instead of calling the cops, she called my husband and I, and somebody had possibly been in her backyard because she's hearing the dogs bark. She's hearing.
So she calls you in another state.
See,
yeah, like what are we gonna do, Mom?
I'm stuck on aged white chicks here, saying that she suffers from PTSD. Okay, fair enough. But if you suffer from PTSD, where's your empathy for the people who you could possibly be perpetuating their possible PTSD by making them the subjects of your content, by saying you had visions in regards to their behavior and what they've done or haven't done. Why are you not empathizing with these people? I mean, if you suffer from PTSD, why would you perpetuate the shit that might make someone else have PTSD? Or if they already are struggling with PTSD, they get triggered by the trauma of you perpetuating rumors about them with your channel. I'm just curious, since you suffer from PTSD, where is your empathy for others that might be suffering from PTSD?
Mom, we don't live down the street. We live states away. But instead of calling cops, she called us. So I thought that was interesting. That was a good reminder that in moments of stress, in moments of trauma, like the unexpected, sometimes you do things that don't exactly make sense.
Oh yeah, totally. And so your mom did not call the police first before
she didn't call the police. She called us, and we're like, Mom, call the cops.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. It's because you know what happens is when you disassociate, then there isn't the rational, normal thought. It's just this panic of not knowing what to do.
See,
trying
I
to
love
call
this.
someone to help you know what to do.
I love when I hear shit like this. Okay, yes, I heard her say that she's had family members murdered, and my sympathy goes out to her for sure as far as that goes. But that's not an excuse for victimizing other people. If anything, that should be a reason as to why you don't do the things that she's doing with her channel. Because she's perverting the tragedies that other people are suffering through. Absolutely 100%. She's absolutely doing that. So just because she suffered a loss, a tragic one at that, it is not an excuse for her consciously doing the things that she's doing. Because when I'm hearing her talk, I am getting more than an indication that she knows exactly what she's doing. She's perfectly aware because she understands. She's expressing verbally her understanding of what other people go through. So the fact that she understands what other people can be going through and yet still does what she's doing, sorry, but that's not an excuse. Apples and oranges. As much as I feel for her as far as the loss that she suffered, great, okay, I understand that. But that's got nothing to do with what I'm talking about up here. And it's shitty for people to use that to defend her. And what that does is only indicates to me that that's something that she uses as some sort of shield to protect her from any accountability for the victimization that she engages in with her own content. Simple.
To do. So that I believe is the situation with Dylan, only times 100. You know.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
Yeah, and someone mentioned about the face mask. So it would be normal if there was a guest, right? And he was getting ready to go outside. If he had a mask on, you might not think twice.
Mm-hmm.
In that house, you see, you always got to keep going back and reminding yourself, this is a party house. I used to live in a party house and it was fun.
No doubt.
You know, it was fun being that age and having all that fun.
Right.
But it could, and especially the way it's so big and shaped funny, it's like you could see someone go back. You could see someone walk past you in the night and just think, oh, that's creepy and being scared. But then going to bed, not out of your, it's the largest family owned bread company in Europe. Brown dye in his hair to make his hair less red. And that's right.
Wait, what?
Energy with that. And then he parks and I'm seeing him walk up the street and he has like red hair.
Who's she talking
Out of
about?
Europe. It's the largest family-owned bread company in Europe.
Okay, who cares?
It's called Coburg Breads. So that was a clue that really would only be known after, unless somebody was
Okay.
looking. But the spirit, part of the thing is the spirit people want to prove that.
Now, this was mentioned in Kathleen Hale's article in Vanity Fair, is because of this bullshit about bread being made. Now that is this poor guy who actually owns a bread place near the bar that's buddies with the bar owner. Now everybody's throwing crazy accusations at him because of this lady's stupidity. I mean, unreal, dude.
They're real. The spirit people want you to know that the spirit world is real.
I bet
they want
do.
you to know that they're there. If you have loved ones that are passed, they often will try to give you signs and let you know that they're there. So that is one of those clues. So the flicking bullocks person says, what about the red-haired guy? So it's like, you always got to go back to the reading. Go back to the reading, because talking and talking and talking. So I talk in the first reading, which was uploaded November 22nd. I'm talking about, I'm seeing the guy after he parks and I'm seeing him walk up the street and he has like red hair. And then as he's walking to the house, all of a sudden he has brunette hair. And then in the house, he only has brunette hair. And if you remember, I was actually asking, is there two guys? And I didn't get any spirit energy. Is there one?
I love that shit. That's how vague her bullshit is. I'm seeing red hair, wait, brunette hair, maybe blonde, maybe black. I mean, to sit here and be like, if you remember, because somebody's calling her out on her bullshit and being like, you said a dude fucking had red hair. You saw a person with red hair. Explain that shit now that they made an arrest and there's nobody with fucking red hair. What are you talking about? Well, if you remember, okay, I said red hair and then maybe brunette. Oh, lady, you're full of shit. Everybody knows it. Stop it.
There's one guy, and I got spirit energy with that. And then I said, I don't understand this. Does this guy put brown dye in his hair to make his hair less red? And that's right in the first reading. And so I also play that clip again in the psychic overview. So it'll be interesting to see if that was only Brian. Like, was this symbolic? He goes in there being Brian and he comes out being, the devil. Time will tell if there's any other red-haired people involved, anybody that inadvertently filled out one of his forms, or the DoorDash driver. If not, I think what we're going to see is going into this trial, unless they let him dye his hair in prison, he's going to have redder and redder hair as he goes and faces trial.
Right.
So let's see. Yeah, Lauren is pretty.
That's bold, man. That's a bold prediction.
Will he be convicted? Yes, he will be convicted. He will be convicted.
Koberger's a redheaded stepchild, and he's ashamed of it. He's a ginger arrepentido, and he's ashamed of it. And so he dyes his hair. But now that he's in jail, well, if his hair doesn't turn out red, well, then we know that he dyes his hair. But if his hair turns out to be red, we know that he's not allowed to dye his hair in jail. Okay.
It's the shed. Okay, so this lady's asking about that shed or the little house behind Brian's parents' house. It is possible that he brought the knife there, and I did write a letter to the tip line. So I've sent 11 letters to the tip line, and I called them once, and I did just say, just due to the fact that the reading is there and it seems to be right on target, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put a metal detector around that shed back.
Okay. She just admitted to sending 11 letters to the tip line. 11 letters of this bullshit that we're listening to right here. Wasting resources with bullshit. Good to know.
Back there. But then he also went way out of his way to get home. And then he took an afternoon trip where he turned off his phone again for 3 more hours. So it's just as likely that he buried it on that trip. So is he the only killer? That's a really good question. Is he the only killer? He's the only.
He didn't toss it in the woods. He didn't toss it in a lake. He specifically buried the murder weapon. Okay.
Actual killer. He's the only person that I saw in the house during the time of the killing, committing the killings. You know, I think a really good question that people have is, has Brian killed before? That's a really good question. I'm going to listen to my readings that I didn't upload, but it also reminds me of something before I sign off that I want to say about this latest reading I did with Travis Jewetton. So for people who don't know, there were 2 other stabbings, and actually there's one in Utah, but there are 2 other stabbings that have some similarities, that the person went in probably in the middle of the night, and it was around 3 a.m. Now,
Let's take a look at, I wonder if we can get one of her readings, bro. Let me see real quick. And again, she says for her friends on this one. Reverend Donna Seraphina, Spirit Communication Psychic. Spirit Communication Psychic.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Reverend Donna Seraphina. I am a spiritualist reverend and a psychic medium, as well as I do have a background in criminal justice.
Oh, shut up.
What? Question only because I think it's. Oh, I guess I should just tell you this little story. I was going to not say it until later because it happened a couple days afterwards.
I was going to not say it. What the fuck are you doing right here?
Maybe I should put it at the end. Nah, I already did the end.
Ew. Where should I place my bullshit?
I don't want to do a spoiler alert.
No spoiler alert.
I'll talk to you about it later. Let's just get with the reading.
Let's get with the reading.
The reading is really nice, and these are with people that Kaylee went to school with, or that she knew since she was young. All right. I hope you enjoy the reading. Again, my name is Reverend Donna Seraphina. All right. Thank you.
I just can't take this lady seriously at all, bro.
So I know Kaylee will come through, and I have like spirit energy on my legs. I'm going to ask a question only because I think it's probably all over the internet anyway, and maybe I saw a picture or something, but was she a cheerleader in high school? And were you guys too or something? Oh, okay. She kept showing me that, and I'm like, I'm not going to say that. That's so cliche. And plus, I'm sure I've seen a picture of you.
Bro, if I fucking look at any number of pictures, and including just one of Kaylee, I'm gonna wonder if she was a cheerleader. It's not a stretch to think that she was a cheerleader. Okay, I don't know if she was or not, but it's not even remotely a stretch.
That's what I was literally meditating, and when that kept coming into my mind, and then I kept saying that to her, like, I'm not even going to say that because it's obvious I would have seen a picture or something, but oh yeah, okay. And so somebody, she keeps showing me like how when they have one person up there spinning, like when everyone else is holding the
like she was lazy as fuck,
like when they go up on
even describing like who the person she was doing the reading for was. She was like, one of Kaylee's friends from I don't know, childhood or whatever. Like she was vague as fuck. She didn't even like say this person knows her from this. She was just like, it's fucking, it's from school or when they were kids or whatever.
While everyone's holding them up, and then they just start. Maybe they're not spinning. Maybe they're standing there. But do you know what I'm talking about? So, okay. So she was showing me that. That's so funny. For some reason, she's showing me like a spotted leopard, like. Okay, yeah. So then, see, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about.
Oh my God. She had a stuffed animal of a spotted leopard in her vast collection of stuffed animals. Holy shit, how'd you guess that? Wait. I'm getting another reading. Was one of them a bear? Holy. Oh my God. Thank you for confirming.
About. And I got what? Probably, some big lion, like wildcat type thing with spots on it. Yeah, okay, so that absolutely, like I got chills on my legs again. So absolutely, so she's showing you stuff to prove, yeah, it's really me. You know what I mean, like that? Okay.
Yeah, so now we got it out of the way. It's her confirming that it's her.
She feels like
spirit.
She's showing this. So she showed me that Jack DeCur guy. But he's on the other side of the cheetah thing. So it's like it's really interesting how she shows it. And I have the spirit energy to know that that's what she's showing me, but it's like it seems symbolic somehow. It's like you see the cheetah, but then he's just as far away in the background. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't really know the meaning of it other than maybe it's like that. I don't know. Anything I say would be an interpretation. Oh yeah, maybe in case
anything I say could be an interpretation because I'm completely fucking full of shit.
He wants to go out with him. I actually have spirit energy on my legs. You know what? Yes, it is because so she has chills. So
energy on
what she's showing me that I would interpret is that kind of like she was leaving him behind anyway. But then when I said, like, in case one of you want to go out with him, I got chills on both legs.
They're multiplying.
Like, isn't that funny? And so that's obviously confirmation.
It's not funny. I got chills, and they're multiplying. I'm losing control. Yes, Kaylee, the power that you're supplying is electrifying. Very electrifying. Feel your way. Ooh.
And like they do that. They do different levels of different kinds of energies on my legs is showing me. So if you guys are friends with him and you decide you want to go out with him, don't feel guilty. That's definitely how I would or be mad at any girl that does. That's funny. That's good feedback. So that because she's pretty good at this. She's pretty. I don't know. Did you listen to the reading I did with?
She's good at this.
Because Kaylee, that lady wanted to hear from Maddie, but I could see Maddie right there in her bedroom. But Kaylee was like in front of me, and then when I said, "Well, I'll try to pull Maddie," it's like she literally
she was in front of her
face. Like, no, listen to me. Like that.
Oh, it's so cute. The ghosts are so cute. I had this little interaction with this person who's a murder victim and her family's watching, but I don't give a shit. And I'm perverting her memory like this. And she put her hand over my face. Wow.
So yeah, it's a convenient. I used to have a really strong friend like that because then you could let them deal with everything. Yeah, this girl too. Like if someone gave me a hard time at a party, this girl would fight with them, or not physically, but and it's like I could just sit there and like.
I'm pretty sure like you could be a reverend of any fucking thing, dude. Like technically, like I'm a reverend in dudism. Like the dude from The Big Lebowski. Yeah, I registered online for the fuck of it. The dude abides. I registered online for the fuck of it. Why not? You could be a reverend in fucking anything. It doesn't matter.
Pretty not even worry about it. So she's showing me, which is interesting. I don't think that's the style now, but I'm not so aware. But anyways, that she's showing me her kind of like her bags are packed. But she said the outfit almost looks like a retro of a 50s outfit. Like, dude, I know, interesting, huh? Like, you know how in the 50s
she's like using Greece as a fucking template for for bullshit. It's fucking hilarious.
Someone wore a pencil-shaped skirt. I don't know. I think it's more darker in color, but it's like it's almost like a retro. I'm going off to the office, but I'm gonna look really sexy while I'm doing it, or like not really sexy, but just kind of like the clothing is nice quality and fits well. Yeah, and it's like she has this suitcase here. She's ready to go. So I guess she's just showing me that like I already know outside of this reading. I know outside of this reading that she, I mean, obviously I've read about it. So I know that she'd got a job offer or internship or something down in Texas. So I know that, but so I'm not trying to say that to pretend I don't know that, it's like, I know that, but she is showing me, and then she keeps it kind of there. It's like, that's not in style for you guys now, though, nowadays, is it?
So let me get this straight.
Oh, yeah, that could be it. Yeah.
Let me get this straight. So in your vision where you're interacting with Kaylee, Donna, she's modeling her job interview outfit that she's wearing on her way to the sock hop. Okay. Just checking.
Right. Yeah, oh, yeah. Maybe that's what she's showing us, that she's dressed for work.
Right.
Dressed for the office, or it looks really pretty because it's like yeah, it's like she's wearing like high heels. She's wearing high heels. Well, they're like, yeah, more like spiky heels, and this skirt it fits nicely, and a sweater fits nicely. So she's just showing the outfit.
What are you talking about, lady?
And let's see.
She's just showing it.
I'm wondering if there's someone else there to say hi to you or what. I don't. Because when they hold, that's what I'm saying. Like when they hold something, there's more about it. I don't know. Did you say you had a grandma or something? Oh, your mom. But okay, did she dress like that? Because sometimes other ones will pop in to say hi.
Oh my God, bro.
And that could be it. So we'll just see. I got a very mild spirit energy. That's probably not it. So what I'm going to do is kind of because that's what they'll do, is they'll just.
She was dressed like she was going to a sock hop, and so it must have been grandma. Oh, great.
Be like, oh, okay, this person's open and talking. That grandma will jump in and So it's like I'll just let my mind go blank. Okay.
Your mind is
feeling
blank.
I'm feeling a little something from the crime, but it's not anything that needs to be talked about or anything like that. But she feels something to her stomach, and I'm just saying that it's like a push. And I'm not sure why she's saying it. You guys aren't trying to hear any about that, right?
No, please. Yes, tell us. Guaranteed. Her fucking.
Okay. Okay. If
John,
anything, that's what I was telling her before the thing.
her fucking Johns in the chat are like, yes, please tell us. Tell us the gory details that your fucked up mind conjure.
I was like, you talk about whatever you want. I'm 100% blank. If you're talking about it, I'll say it. But then here I'm seeing something. I'm going, no, I don't think I'll say that. But yeah, and she's not showing it graphically. But for some reason, so I'm not seeing like what I saw that first time. I'm seeing some kind of something pushed to her stomach that she's, and so maybe so I'll just blink and just see what she wants to say if she's what she wants to say about that. Anything about anything. I mean, yeah, I'm just kind of seeing falling over, and I'm just, I don't.
Wow. This lady's fucking terrible, bro.
She should. Oh no, I see. Well, I see her fall over. Like, I'm just seeing it. It's just I don't.
It's just
I'm
a vision.
Sure. I don't know if it's all in their energy field or
it's just a vision.
What? Because it. Let's just see, Kaylee. I really got to blank my mind because it's like I'm just seeing all the murder, and it's like
I call bullshit.
I don't know. I want to just let myself go blank, and because I don't think, because I'm wondering. Like, it's not necessary to go through that, and it makes me kind of wonder. Like, first Xana was doing that too, though. She was showing me little stuff, and I was just like, I'm not going to say that in front of her friends,
So why do you keep talking about it? Why even make the friends uncomfortable? With even the thought that you're having these horrible visions in regards to the tragedy that took place. Why are you even acknowledging it? If you're so concerned about the feelings that you're bringing up in her friends, then why are you putting them through that and saying, I'm seeing this? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to say what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing something fucking horrible. I don't want to talk about it, and I don't want to say what I'm seeing, but I'm feeling something pushing through her stomach. Really? Wow.
And so maybe it's just like that because they experienced it. Maybe it's so recently, like in their energy field or something like that.
I don't know why I'm seeing. Why are they making me focus on the murder itself? Is it because everyone in my chat is logged on for those gory details? Is that why? It's not. I'm just. It's a reading. I don't know why she's showing me the murder. I don't get it. Why? I'm just trying to focus on what kind of a person she was, but she keeps showing me the murder. The exact reason why you fucking Johns are in here buying my bullshit that I'm peddling. Hold on. Yep, still the murder. I don't understand. Well,
or even when they're communicating, because I was actually surprised. Oh yeah, now I'm getting a little chills. I was actually surprised when I was doing those readings that they were still seem to be experiencing trauma. Yeah. Okay.
That's nice.
Because you know what? I don't even need to put this on.
That's real comforting and respectful to their families, is to sit here and say that these people are these victims are still experiencing the trauma of being murdered. That's real responsible and real empathetic too, by the way. This little miss, I suffer from PTSD and I'm worried about how other people's trauma is affecting them. That's real empathetic there. Good job.
It's on YouTube either. Like, unless she says good, and unless she's like has a lot to communicate,
I don't need to do it. But okay, so yeah, I mean, if you have questions, and because it's just like I'm floating in this trauma and seeing these murder, and it's like, what's good? I don't know that that's necessary.
Keep saying it.
Oh, no, Kaylee is far from confused. She's funny. Like last night she came in.
She's so funny.
See, that's why I like doing readings with friends, because then that spirit really knows. Now that spirit's got an attachment or an interjection to me too. So they know, oh, here's a person. No, she came in last night because I was going to do a little meditation. And then, no, she's funny. And I could feel my daughter. And she was like, is your mom always like this? Like, because I said I was going to do it. And then I started going on my cell phone and stuff. And what?
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. And so, you know what? The stuff about Earthbound, I don't know if people made that up. You know, people who like to sell books and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's
just
made up.
So fucked up, man.
Because,
like,
okay, so like there's that.
So fucked up to sit here and like use your dead kid as some reason to. Team Brittany, thank you so much. Can someone give her some cheese with her wine? Go Grease Lighten. Thank you so much. I mean, how shitty is it for her to use her kid to like perpetuate this shit that is no doubt going to make her family feel uncomfortable? This is so fucked up that she's doing this, and she capitalizes on this. It's amazing to me.
There's the astral plane. There's our dimension, the physical. Then there's that astral plane and stuff. But they can go back and forth. They're not stuck there. No, they're not stuck there. No one's stuck there. The people. No, I know people say silly things like that. But how it works is there. I think there is people there, but those are ones that don't want to go into their life review and stuff like that. Like, say, my mom. No, when my mom died, I think she was staying on a different plane for a little while because she was trying to avoid her life review like that. But none of your friends are like on that level. And it's like they are in connection, but they still have this trauma energy, I think, surrounding them. And you know what? When other ones that I have too, ones like those children in Idaho, yeah, they're still traumatized. It's a real traumatic way to die when someone's murdered. And I'm not trying to hurt you or traumatize you guys by telling you that.
Why are you doing it then? Like, there's nothing productive coming from this. There's nothing constructive or productive coming from this at all.
Okay. And do you want to tell me, or do you want me to tell you, or what do you want? Okay. So we'll see. So it's like, I think there's just a little more about the murder experience of being murdered. It's like, well, their murders were particularly brutal, right? Yeah. And one thing is, I know every single, because I've done a couple hundred where they're unsolved homicides and stuff, and it's like every single, with the exception of 2, every single spirit person wanted justice. Every single one. I do know that. And I also know that they're like with angels and spirit guides around them. So they're not stuck anywhere. There's no such thing as that. That whole we're an earthbound spirit thing is, some spirits have a choice they want to leave. So like maybe if they like,
but okay, now there's that doesn't exist. But these victims are going through pure torment right now of the trauma of being murdered as we speak. But we could laugh it off and be like, oh, she's playfully putting her hand in front of my face. But the trauma of being murdered, all these victims are still feeling it. Like, what, lady? Do you think that anybody wants to hear that? Anybody that actually cares about these people want to hear that shit? What service are you providing? What service are you providing? I mean, dude. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that this lady is 150% full of shit. She hasn't speculated on anything that hasn't already been speculated on, but she threw in her own flavor by saying that Brian Koberger took home a jar of the victim's blood and masturbated in it while on this while still deciding that she's going to talk to the loved ones and do a reading for the loved ones of these victims and tell them and the whole fucking world that these victims are still feeling the torment and trauma of the way that they met their demise. I mean, I don't understand how this person has the audacity to call themselves empathetic. You got to use your eyes, people. You got to use your eyes. Look at the behavior. Don't just listen to the words. Don't just listen to the words. Because the words are, oh, well, my daughter was murdered and I have a bachelor's in criminal justice and I suffer from PTSD and I'm doing this for her friends and I'm doing this for her family and loved ones. And we shouldn't be throwing stones at people, blah, 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 blah. But here she is claiming that she has insight into the beyond and that these victims are currently feeling and stuck in the feeling of trauma for what they suffered at the hands, allegedly, of Brian Koberger. Interesting. And yet, you expect us to feel that you're empathetic? You expect us to believe that you're empathetic towards victims and their loved ones? What good? Okay, because you believe in energy, right, Donna? Good energy, bad energy. Where's the good energy that you're putting out into the universe in stating that? In stating those things and putting those thoughts out into the universe, what good is that doing? How is that good energy? In what way, shape, or form? What does that do for these victims' loved ones exactly? I would love to know. Are you bringing them closure? No. Yes, Leo, re-victimizing the victims and families. This is what we call everybody out for. And this is just, she's doing this in a very different way than I'm used to covering, but nevertheless, it's exactly what she's doing. She is absolutely re-victimizing victims. I mean, there's just no other way around it. There's no way to dress it up. No matter how much she tries, there's no way to dress it up. This person is putting out horrible energy into the universe. Horrible. Because I'm addressing this in her terms. This is her. This is what she's claiming she goes by, right? Positive energy, negative energy, right? What's good, what's bad? What's the good? What product that she is producing is good exactly here? Because I'm not seeing anything positive coming from this. I'm seeing parents going, oh my God. I'm seeing parents crying. I'm seeing loved ones sitting there and crying. And then, you know, she likes to say, psychics and people like her like to say, oh my God, the reaction I got from the loved ones, so touching. They cried. They poured their hearts out and cried at the reading that I gave. No shit, lady, because you're sitting here and talking about this dude going home with their blood and jerking off with it. The fuck is wrong with you? Anyways, folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I did a lot today live. I've got to get to some writing, got to get that done. And I love you guys very, very much. Thanks for hanging out with me as much as you guys did today. And thanks for all your support. Yo, Team Brittany, you're out of your mind. Thank you for all your support today. Especially you are crazy. And everybody else who showed support, thank you so much. I'm glad that I can entertain you guys because this is for entertainment purposes. Absolutely. So yeah, but I appreciate you guys. I'm not sure exactly when I'll go live again, but it will be very soon, my friends. I love you. Take care.